idea was to keep it in throughout the show, but we decided not to do that. Because you know, Clippy.
I'm gonna wait some time because the longer we wait, like the more realistic it'll be, you know, when he comes back to life. The touch of the black man in a woke story. The God hand shining down, shining upon thee. White man as you lay down. Cis white man and couple in background. Understand the power of a black man is a God hand. I breathe life into you. One touch is not enough from greatness. One touch from the black man. Watch me do it again. Kneel and be amazed at the touch of the black man. Ooh. I bring life. I bring life. That's right! That's right!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my voice sounds like shit, but welcome everybody to another episode of Saturday Night Hypnosis, episode 88, ladies and gentlemen, almost to 90. Almost to 90. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you guys gotta realize one Saturday a week, it's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat right now as people come into the stream. Welcome again. We got a lot to talk about. There is so much going on in the internet right now. The amount of melting down going on, the journalists. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. But we got our special guest tonight, of course, Eric July joining us. Thank you, Young Ripper, for hanging out with us. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you having me on, obviously, man. And big shout out to you, man. Seeing like growth of your channel has been kind of crazy, man. So I love seeing stuff like that. So shout out to you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. All right, boys, let's do our intros because we got a lot to talk about. Let's just jump right into it, man. Dragon Slayer, do not take 5 years. Start us off, please.
Hey, come on, man. What's up with that? No, hey guys, my name is Dragon from Dragon Slayer Commentaries. I make sarcastic commentary on all the things coming out of the Hollywood dumpster fire as usual in TV shows and movies. And you know what? I'm quite excited today because, you know, I've seen always Mr. Eric over here just going on a lot of live streams and, you know, never thought they would come, but I actually talked to the man himself. So I'm quite excited for this, you know? Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gooch, why does Gooch on the internet?
Yo, what's up, everyone?
Gooch on the internet.
No, not the hairiest.
Rusty is good. All right. Go.
No. Come on, bro. Yeah, it's Gooch. Welcome to Saturday Night Hypnosis. You can catch me on Diabolical Souls Presents, where we do animation reviews and interviews. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight because I'm a huge comic book fan, artist, and looking forward to talking to Mr. July tonight. So this should be fun. Everyone, enjoy the show.
Got you there, bro. He got you fucking there.
Bro, it's 2024 with the mask.
Yeah.
Ryan Rogerate, take it away, man.
Well, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I'm not racist. Hypno just calls me that for some odd reason, but it's great to see you all watching, and hopefully you will enjoy today's show. Why Atreus is masked, I have no idea. Are you going to rob a bank, sir?
I'm sure we're gonna find out in his intro. Let him do his intro.
But,
Finish your intro.
yes, here's to a good show. We're going to talk about a lot of interesting topics of the day, and one plus is that everyone here is male, so we might as well move on to the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man who wants you all to be great, and he's a great singer too. This man,
Eric July, take it away, man.
Yo, I appreciate you. Yeah, obviously for those that don't know me, Young Rubber 5'9", Eric July. It just depends on where you know me from. But I'm glad to be here. Like I just said earlier, been seeing the growth of Hypnotic channel, and it's been really, really cool. I love to see that that there's people kind of that talk, just give it to people straight. Definitely in the commentary space that are seeing a lot of growth for calling it what it is, man. So I love that. Love to see it. I want y'all to keep it up, man. And like I said earlier, man, I'm just glad to be here.
Shout out, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
All right, Atreus, take it away.
Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Atreus. Man, it's been a hell of a week. It's been a hell of a few weeks, actually. From all of this, sweet baby stuff going on. And, I was able, y'all know I work 80 hours a week. I normally work 7 days a week. But I done negotiated, I done finessed both my jobs into giving me days off. So now I got my Fridays and Saturdays off. So I got my Antifa gear on early, baby. Saturday, we get to loot stores.
Go find right now.
Oh, man.
We get to loot stores on Saturday.
That starts
now we got
well.
Eric July in the building. First time I seen Eric July, guys, I had not hit the red pill yet. So the first time I seen his content, I was like, "The fuck is this nigga talking?" I'm like, "The fuck?" And it's kind of different being on the other side when the coon jokes is coming at you. Like, "You call me what?" I'm a little bit different from Eric July. He has a broader vernacular. When I'm coming to see about you, it ain't coming with words. I promise you, it ain't coming with words. So you know how it is, how we do in the South, man. So it's very interesting to see him put his money where his mouth is and do what he did with the comic book industry. And it's hilarious to see y'all melt down. I ain't gonna hold you. I've been laughing for almost 2 years straight. So yeah, I'm gonna let the next person get it because I can talk all night.
Wyatt's Metal, take it away, man.
What's up, everybody? I'm Wyatt's Metal. Some call me the savior of metal. I apologize for my shit office right now. I am currently at a
you sound like one of the poor whites in Ohio State right now, bro.
It's a discount kid
Let's
walking.
make you happy. I'm white and poor and below you. This is like the best day ever for you. I'm currently at the Sick New World Festival in Las Vegas. I just saw Lamb of God and not quite later. But I took a break to hang out with everybody here because everyone here is awesome, especially the man of the hour, Eric July. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big commentator, but I respect the fuck out of you for your industry that you've built, your empire, what you do with music too. Obviously, I'm a big metalhead.
Absolutely.
So what I've seen you do there, fully independent. The way you preach about the time of like independent artists, I'm huge backing support of that. So huge props to you. Congratulations to you for everything you've built, and thank you for being here and hanging out with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Before you go on to Coach, because he's going to humble the rest of us with his words. Ryan, I bet you got one of these white hoods, don't you?
Oh, for sure.
Mephisto says you were embracing your indulging your inner KKK.
I know. He recognized his hood immediately when he seen it. He's like, "Oh, hey, I got one of those."
I wish I had a white hood. I'll tell you
Gets
that.
all the white hood.
You got a bad bro. That's about as far as you'll get.
Well, you have the noose already. We know that. So you just
Yeah,
gotta
we
get
know
the
you
hood
got
and
the
you're good after that. So, all right,
My
Coach
member's got a white
Coach
hood
MC,
on,
man,
Brian.
take it away, Coach.
It's amazing. It's amazing, really. A wonderful night. And it kind of demonstrates what we all been saying individually with our channels, with our endeavors. We started over here. We have the OG crew with Hypnotic, kind of lending us this hand and saying, hey, you want to stream with me? That was 88 episodes ago. We were like this little corner, this little niche of the rebellion, kind of streaming every Saturday. I was in Germany, you're in the Philippines, all spread all over the place, kind of making it right in the middle of the night and kind of telling our story. And now 88 episodes later, we have this legend on the stream. We're, streaming to thousands of people and kind of just blowing through the roof. Hypnotics is making crazy numbers. And, there's this saying about the number 8 that is associated to, dark things, occult things, bad things, right? You have the Moebius loop, the priestess of Sekhmet. The 8 is a very occult and maybe also dark number, but 88, that means that the 8 gets actually compensated, gets neutralized. Now, finally, we have equilibrium of the forces. Now, the dark force now gets, fought back and we're winning battle after battle. Now, finally, we can stand up. And now, finally, we can, ramp up our numbers. So definitely that you are here on the show, Eric, that kind of demonstrates that we are the counter force, that now this other 8 is growing, getting stronger every day. So we're going to talk about, of course, when we talk about this cultures, like how we got here, we're going to talk about our performances, and you preach that every day. And so you guys out there, come over to the Coach MC studio in order to kind of like what we're doing every day to improve our creative output, to become more and more, to get louder and louder, to get stronger and stronger. So let's do it. Episode 88.
Absolutely. Coach, I need to change this background now. We can't be all about learning here. Hold on.
I dropped out of college, Coach. You know that?
There we go, Trey. I got a better subject change right here.
What the fuck is that?
Great acting coach.
Yeah.
This man knows how to teach actors and actresses. So any recommendations I could give with my meager support, check out this kind of
not be a racist.
What support?
Anti-racist conversion.
All right, guys. Last but not least, Will of the Fans. Take it over, man.
Yeah, sup. Hopefully you guys can actually hear me because I only just made it in during the intro. So just wanted to check that. Hello, it's me, Will of the Fans. My name's Will. See what I did there? Hope you're all fine. I'm not very well. I had a bit of a strange morning. Woke up, stood up, and threw up. So that wasn't very pleasant. But the show must go on. Yeah, so I'll try not to accidentally provide the ultimate SNH blooper while I'm on the show. Gamergate's raging. Jonos are freaking out. Shooty Gatwa is a complete pussy. And I've been having a great time with all of that. It's nice to stream with my friends and one of my heroes. So that's really cool. Let's get on with Alyssa Mercante's favorite show.
Say it again. What's her name? What's her name again?
That is fact.
Alyssa Mercante.
Alyssa Mercante.
You know she's watching.
And I
she's
started
definitely
that,
watching.
by the way.
They're all watching. They're all watching, ladies and gentlemen.
They're all watching.
All right, guys. Shout out to everybody, man. Again, thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight with us. It's going to be an awesome time. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of it's going to have to do with censorship-oriented stuff. Obviously, Stellar Blade. Lara Croft's reversal going on right now. I mean, there is a lot. I mean, we got people putting bounties on people's heads. That's how serious we are.
Very civil.
Trying to get one on you, sir.
Very tolerant for sure. But let's start off the conversation. We'll start the conversation with Stellar Blade because I feel like that's the most obvious one right now. So for the past week, I mean, the entire internet has been going nuts over the fact that Stellar Blade is censored after they said that they were not going to be censored in the entire world. Obviously, that came out to not be true. You got people from all sides chiming in, some genuine, some disingenuous. And it's an interesting argument because it shows that certain people would like to say that they're against censorship. And, to drop a couple names, I mean, we got Mighty Keith over on YouTube, who I had a back and forth with. He flat out said he would prefer there was no censorship, and then literally in the next sentence said, well, I'm okay if they censor 10-20% titty, which is interesting. So like I said, we have genuine disingenuous conversations going on, but the overall take right now from the panel, and you guys can chime in, what do you think about the censorship for Stellar Blade? Big deal, not big deal? Be honest.
It's a big deal.
What do you think?
It is a big deal because they said they wouldn't. It was one of the things that made people get behind the game. The fact that it was just totally defiant of all the woke stuff. And there's no way this wasn't premeditated because you can't make a change like that damn quickly in the release window. It never happens like that. So it was all planned from the start, and for the dumbest reasons.
It's censorship. Whatever it's whenever it's censorship, it's whatever it's small or big, it's censorship. There is no little dead or completely dead. So censorship is not okay.
Well, no,
you know,
I mean, things get censored all the time, but stuff doesn't get advertised to you as uncensored and then immediately get censored.
Exactly.
I think this is people at Sony. They may have had the plan to do that all the time, but the developer, that's why I'm separating this from the developers. I believe Sony, when they saw all of the discourse online, and I think there's people in Sony who are like, oh yeah, y'all think y'all getting this, but we finna shut that down.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean that the developer was planning to censor it. Not at all. No.
Okay. Yeah, I truly believe that there are people in high places who are just that petty to where they would let you get, okay, this is what you guys really want. We're going to wait to the day of the game to be released or the day before, and then we're going to censor everything you thought you were getting before.
They hate us. That's why. It's just malice.
What did they
can't let us
censor?
win anything.
Does anybody have confirmation on if the other versions of the game elsewhere, like let's say if you got the game in Japan, right? Is that also, does that have did they change those suits like on for Eve? Does anybody know that? There's any confirmation on that?
The only thing that I do know is that the actual disc you get is not censored. That's how I know.
Well, right, but my question is, and where I wonder is if this was a worldwide type of thing, or was it more localized to us? Right.
I think it's based more on a patch. Because I noticed Grums was talking about it, and he said that like it seems like the original version, like sometimes the physical CD copies do have uncensored versions, but also some like 1.0 pre-patch versions seem to have it uncensored in other countries. In America though, like the digital one, it seems like it's not the case.
Well, just to chime in really quick. So I can't find it, but I remember seeing a post on Twitter of somebody from Australia who picked up the game and the disc had 1.2 on it, but everybody who I can see on the American side had 1.0 on it.
Yeah.
And like I said, that was only one person in Australia.
Mike
so
is giving feedback. I think
it's Wyatt's. It's Wyatt's.
Yeah.
Wyatt, mute yourself until you talk. So that was just one person in Australia. Like I don't know if that was everybody, but everybody from what I can see on the American side who has a disc version. I mean, Cassie did it. Also Philip over at Project A-Roll. Everybody who had a physical, me too. Everybody who had a physical, it was always 1.0 on those discs, at least on our side anyway.
So in other words, I need to go and get mine right now, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, I bought the disc for that particular reason, just to kind of check, and that's what it is. So, and just to kind of piggyback on the convo and you guys take over again, because I'm literally dying. The Stellar Blade conversation, I feel like, it would definitely be a big deal. Don't get me wrong, but I think this post right here is what makes it a really massive deal. I think that if it wasn't for this post, if you didn't come out literally a week before the game released and said it was going to be uncensored everywhere, I think, you'll have people complaining once they found out, this didn't look like the trailer, this didn't look like this. Sure, there'll still be a conversation on censorship, but the fact is you flat out lied. You lied. You got caught lying. And then I don't know if the translation was correct. Because I'm getting different reports of people saying that the director said that 1.2 was his initial design, but then I saw other translations saying no, the disc version 1.0 was his design, and that 1.2 was in fact the censorship. I don't know which way it goes, but I'm kind of leaning towards 1.0 was probably his design, because you have people saying, games get patched all the time, they try to gaslight you. It's like, yeah, that's fine, but what we're saying is the final build of the game had uncensored outfits, and you patching it to 1.2 clearly shows censored outfits. So you can't then have this comment be true. And that's where people are really getting pissed off is this comment right here.
It's stupid to say so, right? And it makes no sense. By dropping this comment, you make people more alert of this so closely also before of the release. It's clearly that people, when they see this, they're like, oh, maybe I should look if that's actually true. Like they could have released that a bit earlier or cover it up with some other news. They did it also in a very sloppy way.
Well, Coach, you also gotta think about one thing. I'm sorry. One thing is that think about it like this. There's no fucking reason for this tweet to exist, right? There's no reason for Stellar Blade to tell you that the game is uncensored everywhere unless they wanted you to know that the game was uncensored everywhere. It was part of the marketing ploy for the game because they knew the discourse around it. Good, Eric. I'm sorry.
But that's the thing about the language here. I think that's very important. That's why I asked the question of, okay, are we talking about it being censored in certain, let's say, Western countries or what have you, or is it a worldwide thing? The thing that they're going to fall back on is if they release the same damn version, even if it is different, let's say some of the suits are different, what they're going to fall back on is, well, it was the version that was intended to be released and it went everywhere. Now, could you make the argument, or most people are going to make the argument that, well, this looks different from this, then yeah, but it is a worldwide release at the end of the day, which is what's so intriguing about this conversation here, because what I don't really understand is, like, okay, who did it come from, right? I mean, we're always going to lean towards Sony, and just understanding that when you're dealing with publishers, especially one that's a mammoth like that, I could very well envision a world where they bait and switch their ass, like 100%. I could see that being true, where there was like maybe went into it, and then at that point, let's see, depending on how far along the game was,
they have proven this many times.
right. So it's like how far along the game is. Do you bite the bullet? Do you say, okay, I want this game out, this has been a lifelong dream for us, we love this, we want to make sure that everybody sees it, we're going to bite the bullet and do this because Sony is demanding of us now? And again, who knows the contracts, right? Can they actually explicitly state that? Like, because obviously that's what we want to hear. That would nullify this tomorrow if they came out and was like, well, Sony forced our hand, but contractually probably they can't even say that.
No way.
So you think that the developers basically were trying to allude to that with this tweet?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, maybe they were trying.
I don't think it was that. I don't. I think they were trying to get ahead of it. If anything, I'd argue that, and that's why I said, is it the same release worldwide? If it is, technically, this is not a false statement. Technically. Because it is explicitly, he's basically saying that, or Stellar Blade, the post is essentially saying that it's
semantically,
the same version,
if you put it this way, yes, but that's a play on words here.
Exactly,
it's crazy.
Exactly, and that's why I think that maybe their hands maybe got forced. And look, we have a history of Sony doing this type of shit, right? So it's not like there's no precedent being set. But man, I would love to. Maybe it probably won't happen until like 5 years from now, when these developers finally say, look, we went into it with one idea, Sony kind of forced our hand and we had to do it. But I know they can't say that. And Sony will cover their ass anyway. They're smart enough to know that, you can't go out and say that. So that's what sucks.
And I want to point out that Sony allowed them to advertise this shit that way. That's why I'm telling you, I believe
it was a bait and switch.
There are people up there that are so fucking petty. Like people be thinking I'm playing when I say the little Gamergate situation is an actual war. There's people up in high places that saw everybody celebrating this game and they were thinking to themselves, wait, bitch. Wait. We
for sure. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Yeah.
So here's the question then. Are you going to see gamers and creators like shy away from Sony altogether?
Nope.
No. They're too big. They're too big.
I mean, have you seen PlayStation fans?
I mean, I'm a career PS guy.
It doesn't matter how
have you seen Games fans?
It doesn't matter how many times I say, because I don't believe in blocking people. It doesn't mean unless you want some Rainbow Warrior shit that's just weird. But there's no how many times. It doesn't matter how many times I say I'm uninterested in seeing this guy's tweets. It's like this red dragon fucker and all of those other PlayStation like zombies. They just appear in your feed and they like Xbox could shut down today and they will manufacture some negative Xbox news. It's like, bro, what? So no, they're gonna keep playing PlayStation stuff. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm looking more and more at being just a PC guy. Like, and hopefully Cassie isn't watching. Matter of fact, I might block Cassie. Because I'm does she say anything?
It is good over here.
Well, that's why I went to
I don't think So I don't think we have to think in those polarized systems. Like there will always be developers working for those monolithic mammoths, and they're going to have a good time producing this, agenda-driven material. And there's going to be more and more independent publishers, creators, manufacturers in the industry, branches that been created, like Eric is creating it, like we all try to create it in our own niches that are going to provide the material people going to watch in the future. So let them have their developers, let them have their people working for them. The thing about a giant, that at a certain point, even a giant becomes too big. He can't stretch anymore, any longer, anything. There is a critical mass that even the greatest empires, and history books have shown us this again and again. There is this pattern that every empire at its highest peak, at its absolutely apex of evolution, where everybody thinks, wow, that's an unstoppable force of nature, right? We can't do any. Right there, this is where the empire starts to collapse, to implode, to kind of, degenerate. Yeah, and to stagnate because the structures are too high, because it becomes institutionalized, right? The mammoth becomes some sort of technocracy. What we're seeing right now is the playbook, what these guys in the 19th century have kind of pictured about the totalitarian systems, right? And this is what it's about to happen. And when you have too much transactional, institutional technocracy going on, all this stuff's gonna collapse and new empires will be born like ours.
Yep. Look at these disgusting PC master race niggas in the comments.
I knew you caused a problem.
Just so you're aware, really you realize, Atreus, I am all PC master race.
I hate you too.
I know.
You can't have an uncivil verbal war with a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy, and then here comes a PC man.
Back in my day, I was pretty civil, even though I was a total PlayStation.
I can't wait for Valve to go out of business, and then all you PC fuckers with your Steam libraries, they're all gone.
Dude, you're still using Betamax. People are doing already. What are you talking about? Like, it doesn't matter. That's what they're doing right now.
Still watching VHS.
Yes, I am still watching VHS.
You have a Steven Seagal DVD.
Does that TV even work behind you?
Like, you probably have Pong.
It does. It
does. Listen. Time out. So my issue with this is that, so this comment says that it offers the same uncensored version in all countries. For me, I view final game version as whatever the version is on the disc, which is normally 1.0, right? So like if the games are being released with 1.0 and it requires a day one patch to get you to 1.2, that is not the final version of the game. So then you cannot argue, in my opinion anyway, I'm not a lawyer, but you cannot argue that you're going to release an uncensored version in all countries because you technically did, but then you patched it on day one. Right, like so you did actually technically you're right, Eric. You did release uncensored versions. Maybe like I said, one guy in Australia had a 1.2. I don't know if that was true or not, but aside from him, I've seen everybody else having 1.0 on their disc. So you did technically release an uncensored game worldwide, and then on day one you patched it to then censor it. So yes, this comment's true, but then you also changed your mind after. So like. Yeah.
I can see that.
It's
what
kind
they
of
said
weird,
was
man.
true from a certain point of view.
What they said was true
and
for
I think that's the point, though. I think that was I think that was why it's worded the way that it is. I think that it's kind of like trying to play both sides, man. But yeah, Sony's a mammoth, man, and who knows if this game ever even comes into fruition. I think it does, just considering how good it looks. I mean, and look, I played a lot of it. I played it on stream. From a gameplay perspective, this game is fucking phenomenal, right? This is one of the better action games that I've ever played. And I don't say that about a lot of games. This is an incredibly good game. And it's like almost like making a deal with the devil when you go publish that, because it's like, yeah, it's Sony. They got some level of exclusivity. That is also going to come with more eyes on this project that would have ever got on a project if they would have, let's say, just put it out on maybe Steam or something of that nature, and more of a self-published kind of situation. And when you deal with publishers like that, definitely one that's that big, it's one of those things that
play the game.
You got to bingo. The game is what you have to play, and this is why I think independence is so very, very important. And,
absolutely.
And to the coach's point, like that's what the alternative is. I don't see Sony changing because it is too big and they are in their ways. And it is a mega international corporate entity those things don't pivot like that. That's just the nature of the beast. So the alternative to that is going to be the shift of the world doing their own thing, producing the games that they want without having to play by the rules that maybe the publisher wants them to play by. Does that mean less eyes on the project? Yes, absolutely. Definitely. But that doesn't mean it can't be successful by any means.
And that's where we got to take a little bit of accountability as consumers of the product, because when these guys are trying to get these products out and they have a big vision and stuff like that, and they partner with these programs, we got to understand there's certain things, there's certain pills you got to swallow when you're working with them.
Absolutely.
We love to scream from the mountains, oh, just do it yourself. But let's be honest, y'all ain't really putting out like y'all used to when it come to crowdfunding. And even when you do, that doesn't cover advertising. Like
it's true.
Just like he said,
are you
they
saying you
put
out
as
a
many
trailer?
eyes on it.
Yeah, you putting out.
Are you saying you put out a trace? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, what?
So I got a question.
Is he serious on the
question? That's it.
What you doing now, bro?
Do you think?
Come on, Ryan's usually the one with the bad jokes, man. Come on.
Yeah. So you mentioned that the 1.2 was in Australia, right? So
it's a one picture I found, from literally one dude.
So I'm just wondering, does this get like global political? Like Australia is very left, almost extreme left. So do you think when they're in talks and selling these games, they're like, we want a censored version in this country? Do you think that's happening?
I don't think that would be Shift Up's problem, though. I think that would be more on the publisher side if it is happening. Because that's for them to consider, right? They're going to consider all the international, let's say, political or social political conflict that's going to come with releasing a game, which is why I lean towards, though I cannot prove that. I don't know I'm not looking at the contracts. I don't know the conversations that's been happening between publisher and the game developers there, but I do think it came from Sony. If there is any sort of derivative or they change direction, a pivot, let's say that from an original version, I believe that it would have come from Sony. And like I said, having been in that situation, not working with a Sony, but having been in a situation where you might be the one doing a lot of the creation, but as far as putting some out, that's on another entity, right? That's on someone else. It's going to come with a set of rules, and you absolutely have to play ball. And when you're in. It's like it's not like they could probably say okay, we can't put out our version of the game. Fuck it, we won't develop it. I doubt that's a realistic thing to expect from them. So it's like they're probably far along, and maybe they got bait and switched on. But what can you do? And that's why I lean towards Sony. But it'll be a while before we ever know, because I doubt they ever come out and say that they're going to cover that legally. I'm willing to bet what because what was it, the CEO of Shido that was saying that that was the version that I wanted to release. Essentially, that's all they're gonna say. That's all they're gonna say. That's all you're gonna get from them.
You guys got to keep in mind too that Shift Up is trying to go public as well. They're going. They're not a public company right now. They're not public right now, and they said that after Stellar Blade, they were planning to get to go public. So you got to think about that too. You can also kind of factor that into this whole equation. Whether minor or major,
that comes with.
You're trying to go rules, man. If you're trying to go public,
you're getting censored. That's what happens.
It's automatic. It's a matter of when.
I don't have a problem with playing ball. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to go public and you're trying to play ball, what I have an issue with is the hypocrisy. Because we turn it around, we doing all of this. Okay, you want to censor this, but we got Bears giving players back shots in fucking Baldur's Gate, and we got old girl having a fucking orgasm over what's the chick name in Hades? Like, come on, like her titties is down there. That's not a problem.
I'm
gonna talk about the hypocrisy of all this. That's like the next topic.
Yeah. I was very disturbed seeing Hypno posting Baldur's Gate pictures with just cock and balls and all that.
Ever see Ryan?
Listen, a lot of people freaked out at that post. I don't give a fuck, man. The truth's ugly. It is what it is. Like, people,
male character, it's a bit suspicious.
No,
what? I know. I feel thankful of not being on social media all the time. Some days, I can avoid crazy shit.
My biggest issue with this, man, is I'll show you this. Look at this. So my biggest issue with this is that this game, right? And I've said this before. This is an M-rated game, right? We're not talking T for teen. We're not talking fucking E for everyone. We're talking an M-rated game, right? Mature. This is for adults, adult audiences, right? Why the fuck are you playing Nanny in a mature game? You know what I mean? Like when I think of mature games, think about what has been labeled mature in the past, right? Think about like games like Manhunt. You know what I mean? Like crazy fucking game. Like once you hit the mature label, it should be all bets are off. I really don't see what you should be censoring in a mature game, because at that point the market's gonna dictate whether or not it sells well, right? Like you're technically, by making it mature, you're already technically censoring it, because you're only enabling it to be bought by people of a certain age. Obviously, we know older people buy their kids mature games, but that's a whole nother conversation. The point is you're making ease of access a lot harder than it normally would be if it was rated, let's say T or E, right? So once you have a mature game, why are you censoring even stuff like the gore, for example? Right? Like I've heard people say some nonsense like, "Oh, it has to do with the frame rate." Get the fuck out of here. That's bullshit. Because the frame rate is perfectly fine when you were showcasing it on your trailer and saying, expect this, look at this, look at how the gameplay is, the blood and everything like that. Don't give me that bullshit, man. All of that falls under complete gaslighting and nonsense.
So I haven't looked this up.
The blood spat being
I didn't. Okay, now having understood Sony's involvement, and basically they funded this entire project, right? They funded this, and they obviously they published it. That's why they have the level of exclusivity that they have. So I think that's the difference between the multi-platform aspect of it. When you get like a Baldur's Gate or some of these other like more mature games that have released on PC or whatever, they don't have to deal with this. But if this is Sony's baby per se, that it reads them all. We've seen them do it before.
Yep.
I'm willing to bet that's who had a part of it.
But then that lends more credence to why the hell, if you knew you were going to censor the game, why would you let them market it that way? Why would you let them go out and show all of this ass completely uncensored? Oh, look at the jiggle physics. Titties all over the place, and then right at the 12th hour,
especially with the controversy it caused as well. It's
Yeah,
been weeks of people bitching about the fact that she's hot. They had Maxim Korea releasing videos about realistic body types. If Sony was that worried, they would have censored it a long time ago. It just seems like a reactionary knee-jerk thing.
I also want you guys
all the back and forth with the Gamergate stuff, and they was like, "We got one for your ass." I've been saying in my videos, "Hey, we was undefeated until Stellar Blade, because we held it up to be this, and at the 12th hour, Sony was like, bitch," and that was the first L we took.
Someone brought it up in the chat, and that's a good point, but I don't think this has much to do with it because the blood is still there. But they brought up that certain countries, they have laws about like the gore aspect, but it's still there. It's just like not all over her body. So
it's more sensitive.
That is also like fair. Like,
hey guys. Let him
finish. Good.
No. I was just saying that is something to consider. Like, even I don't know if people know, like it's difficult to even like import a horror comic into like the UK, for example.
Yeah. You said horror, right?
Horror. Yeah, like not like horse, but horror. You probably can't, I don't know about horror comics. You maybe can get horror comics in there, but you can't get horror comics. Imported. It's a lot of hoops.
That's right up Alyssa Mercante's alley, huh?
Lawyers. That was a Trey's opinion. Just want to make that very clear.
That statement was explicitly not my own.
Specifically at official Trey's. All right. Anyway,
but no. I did say when you were in a sane part of your life, a couple of shots of Henny, we might be up through there. I'm just saying. So, when you get low state, I'll give you the credit you deserve. But right now, you are like a psychopath.
Okay.
So.
It's crazy. The Trace is willing to go through the SCD tunnel. It's crazy. But why? Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just saying, even with
I didn't say raw.
Is it foolproof?
Fuck's sake.
No,
that's
good. But no, I want you guys to remember something really quick while we're on the conversation of the censorship and the statement. So you guys got to remember, I don't know if you saw that post that Vara Dark made about how she actually got in contact with the director of Shift Up. Did you guys see that? And they flat out told her, like, without Sony's permission, they can't have any discussion with anybody. Like, Sony has to basically vet everything and anything that gets put out. So that brings the question back to that censorship post. If Sony has to vet everything that gets out there, that means Sony vetted that. That means Sony approved that post, right?
Absolutely.
Knowing what that post was going to do. That post was going to bring in pre-orders left and right. That post was going to boost sales left and right. And it's exactly what happened. And then they dropped the bomb at the last second. Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
Just one thing also, if sometimes these companies and these huge megalomaniac, creatures, if they behave sometimes in a contradictory way, you never forget they're so big that some departments and some compartments don't necessarily always know what the other branch is doing. Sometimes they are publishing conflicting material also because of the the number of the publishing that you're bringing out, the speed is getting higher, the pressure is higher, time is getting lesser. So sometimes they don't always have the time to kind of, double check and triple check everything.
So then why not delete it afterwards? Why not be like, we put out a false statement?
But that they show that they have so much power that then deleting it would almost feel like an excuse, an apology, or retreating. No. You leave it out there. Otherwise, you kind of undermine your own power.
I mean, yes, but I'm like,
we mock the fuck out of it. So
we're gonna get to the Lara Croft stuff, but I mean, just a quick snippet. The Lara Croft with Asper Media, they've been dealing with this backlash for removing the Lara Croft posters from the remaster. They've been dealing with it for almost like 3 weeks now, or maybe even a little more than that. And now that they're putting it back into the game with the next patch, they literally put out a post saying, "Oh, that was a mistake. That wasn't supposed to happen." So again, now I don't believe it. Obviously, I want to make that very clear. I don't believe it. But my point is, like, if Sony genuinely knew that post was a mistake, they could have technically took it down. Even though people would never believe them, they could have took it down. They knew that post was bringing in a lot of positive attention to the game.
It's
extra sales.
It's farming, right? It's networks. It's farming. There is no such thing as good press or bad press. It's press. Somebody's talking about you, so you're relevant. If that's for a good reason or bad reason, nobody fucking cares the day afterwards. It's newspaper that kind of carries the fish.
Yeah.
That's a UK reference. Wrapping fish and chips in newspaper for people who don't know.
Fucking Germans, man.
Yeah. I'm sorry for this European reference. I know
we do it. We do it in the UK as well. Yeah. You haven't lived in
hanging around Americans.
I have to explain my analogies.
Oh my god.
All right, so let's shift over to the hypocrisy aspect. But before we do, let me catch up on super chats, guys, because it's there's a lot of green going on. We got Stormbringer with a massive 10 drop. Thank you so much, Stormbringer, for the 10 memberships. I appreciate you, man. We got Lot 689 dropping 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Lot. I appreciate you.
Lot 689. What?
Lot 689. My voice sucks, all right?
689, bro. Come on, man. You can't be thinking of Diddy shit.
Unlimited power.
689.
For 2 months. What's everyone's favorite wrestler? You guys watch wrestling? Hey, chat. Yo, better than Yellow Flash Hypnotic. I'm not better than Yellow.
Favorite or best?
I have a show called Reality Based Wrestling every Monday night.
Nobody.
No one watches it.
All he's going to inform me about is the same shit that we knew for like 20 years already.
Exactly. About the attitude
was in DX at one point. He had a
Hey, we should do another challenge. Eric, go ahead and guess his age.
Oh God.
No,
please don't. No, that's so embarrassing. It's always such an embarrassing moment of the show.
I thought that was a fun moment from last week. That was a highlight.
Are we doing this?
Yes.
Of course, let's do it.
Guess Ryan's age.
Me? Guess Ryan's age?
Yeah, that's the guess honor.
I'm going 38.
That's my age.
That's less than Carl Lynn's. Carl was like 40 something.
We got a drum roll.
I'll just 3, 2, 1. I'm 24 years old. Stop laughing, Atreus.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I've looked the same for the last 15 years, and people thought I was 35, bro.
That's
when I was 43, so I could relate.
I hope I stay like this for the next 15 years. I've been on the show for 88 years.
You hope you stay alive for the next 15 years.
Been on the show for 88 years.
My hairline is fucked. It's stressed. It's stress from these
Here we go.
fuckers.
Here
To
we
answer
go.
the question,
Somebody get the sad violin music. Come on.
favorite wrestler is probably Undertaker for me, most likely.
Undertaker for sure.
I think
Undertaker.
Edge for me. Edge, I
Edge is
always really
good too.
enjoyed his stuff.
Good.
Ooh, my
Shawn
favorite
Michaels is up there for
wrestler.
me too.
Shawn Michaels is fantastic.
Hulk Hogan.
Jericho is the
No
goat.
cons- no-
Ric
no
Flair. I
contest.
also
Hulk
loved Ric
Hogan.
Flair, but
I was gonna say Ric
Yeah.
Flair.
Ric Flair
Macho
was
Man.
very cool.
I feel like people who think Ric Flair is one of the best wrestlers. I feel like people just trolling. There's like no way. Like, yeah, we all love him, hearing him say "woo," but it's like,
no. Bret the
He
Hitman
wasn't
Hart.
that bad.
Need
He's
to
the
watch
best
some of the
competition.
older stuff he did. Bret
Bret's
Hart was
been-
great.
You
my
guys
favorite
remember the
wrestler is
1, 2,
Randy
3
Orton.
kid?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that
Randy
was
Orton,
X
my
Pac.
guy.
That's such a modern
Ric
thing.
Flair don't like you, Atreus.
We got John
fuck you,
Winslow,
Ryan.
member for 8 months, says 8 months Grand Wizards wear red, so it makes sense. Ryan is wearing red. Yep, that makes sense. We knew all along. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 4 months. Hail Hypnotic and panel. Awesome seeing Eric here, and keep mocking the game's journalist. Also, Eric is a 34th-degree Freemason.
That's good.
There is
go.
no such thing as a 34-degree Freemason.
It's a
don't get
joke
trolling.
because somebody claimed
He's trolling.
I won it because I won an award last year and I was 33. And
that
someone was
it.
like, I'm a Freemason
Oh,
because I won an award at 33. But I just turned 34 like last week, and I guess I lost my Freemasonship.
Oh, damn.
Very good. You got it.
Unfortunately.
KRG member for 14 months says 14 months of chaos. Also, hello, Eric July.
Got out.
Shout out. Super Kitty gives 1 Hypnotic membership. Thank you so much. KRG also gives 5 Hypnotic memberships. Thank you so much. Super Kitty, a member for 20 months, says been here since the very beginning. Love seeing Hypnotic's growth and success. Keep up the good work and fighting the good fight. Thank you so much, Super Kitty. Member for 20 months. That's insane.
That's almost as long as we've been streaming, isn't it?
That's crazy. The Angry Badger, member for 1 month, says, Hail chat and panel and shout out Eric. It's great to see all the different factions stream together. Hail the Fellowship, the 199, and the Bigot Army. Shout out to the Angry Badger. Appreciate you, man. He also
We're
dropped
all fighting the same fight.
5 memberships on top of that, too. Thank you. Thank you, Badger. We got KRG, $5, says, Ryan looks like a Santa that's going through a midlife crisis. Shit.
Now I can't unsee it. God damn it.
Just for
That's
men.
pretty good.
Santa.
That's assuming I
Yeah.
die at 50.
You just
'cause I'm
ruined
24
Santa.
now.
He did ruin Santa, unfortunately. And we got Justin Atkins, solo member for 8 months, says an original game connected to Sweet Baby Inc. is still connected to Sweet Baby Inc. Don't know what that dude Keith's problem is. Yeah, so
he's a
Mighty
Muppet.
Keith is a melanin monster, so you got to ignore him.
a melanin.
I love that.
Melanin
So
monster.
melanin monsters are black people that wake up every single day of the week thinking about their skin color. Like, my breath stinks. It must be
You mean
because
racist?
Moron.
you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of traffic. It's racism. My feet are a little big today. It must be the white man's fault. So
It's
you
racist.
you gotta.
There's actually there's a comedy rap about that where everything is racist.
I gotta use that melanin monster. Yo, Nerd Wars, if you're
Yeah,
watching the thumbnail, man. Melanin monster.
Melanin
Make it
monster.
happen.
Melanin monster.
All right,
That's a
let's
good one.
talk about the overall hypocrisy. So we talked about the censorship aspect of Stellar Blade, but for me, and I think this is what me and Atreus have been having the most fun with on Twitter, because I gotta be honest, the only one keeping up with me on Twitter so far is Atreus. This guy is
Dude,
like,
Trace has been on fire lately.
fucking
Hey, if
roasting
you're not
people.
following me on Twitter, I don't know what the hell.
I had
you're
to take
doing.
a week
You're
off.
entertaining.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been having a great time on Twitter. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been quite amazing. Also, shout out to all the game journalists that love to hate my posts. Thanks to you, I've been monetized on Twitter now officially. So I appreciate you guys.
Really?
I take mine. Hey, Elon, fuck you, man. 5 million impressions is wild as hell, man. I don't know how I'm
If
gonna
you're
get
not
that. That's wild as
monetized,
hell.
remember it's because you're black. Melanin.
It's racist.
He is South African.
requirements
I
are
got two of the
Get
green
that.
checks. I got 2 of the green checks, and it said 5 million impressions. I'm like, 5 million? Damn. What I gotta do? Get on there and twerk? What the fuck?
Basically, yeah. Or
Please
just-
don't.
or just
I
get
got
one
enough of that
journalist.
shit from Shooty Gatwa. Fucking
Bad enough.
You
I
mean- you mean
Oh,
Cootie
God.
Gawa. Cootie Gawa, Dr. Booty
So-
Bandit. That's his
Oh,
Let's
Yeah,
talk
and-
about
Dr. Bum Bandit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this meme right here that I'm about to pull up. This basically summarizes everything. When I saw this was pretty much damn on point.
I just saw that on your feed.
Where it's like some people look at Stellar Blade and think butt is too sexy, throw the controller at the screen. sane people look at Astarion getting railed by a bear and think the butt is sexy.
It's inclusive.
Butt sex.
Yeah, this is who we're dealing with, right? This is the people who are in your mentions and in your comments telling you that you are just mad because you can't see some titties. They're the same ones who were cheering over the balls and dick physics of Baldur's Gate 3 and the fact that you could get railed by a bear and everything under the sun. And that's why I made that post on Twitter that I can't show because obviously we'll get banned if I do.
I don't know. I've been pushing the limits.
Yeah,
remember when the hot coffee mod was such a big deal in gaming?
Yeah,
Grand Theft.
It was a massive outrage. Yeah,
like a really shit pixelated mod version of people like kind of fucking, and now we have full on just bare.
And the dialogue didn't sound remotely like they were having sex. It's sort of going like, "Oh yeah," like who does that?
That's
that wasn't even in the game. You had to raid the disc to find that. It wasn't even part of the actual release.
That saying, right? Like that saying that's going around on Twitter right now, "Safe horny" or whatever. Like it's actually a very good saying because it's true, right? Like it's the gaming journalists coming out and saying, well, it's bad to sexualize characters, but they only ever seem to mention that when it's a character coming out from the East. And then when it's a character coming out and made by a Western developer, suddenly it's perfectly fine. They'll say we've always liked hot characters and it's totally okay to sexualize them. And then when you look at the characters they're sexualizing, well, I mean, this is what you get.
So it's got to be some freak sex.
Well, what it is, it's as simple as they don't like who likes it. So that's what they base their position on. They're really contrarians more than anything. It's like with the the Khalif guy when he called it the conservative bastion or whatever. And I was reading I can't remember if it was from The Gamer or wherever that article was from, and they were also mentioned right wingers and what have you. That's really their issue with this whole entire cultural phenomena of Stellar Blade. It's they don't like who likes it, right? And that's really it. Yes, it's because it's coming from the East because up until this point, we were under the assumption that they were not really giving a crap about how let's say a Western, be it social media cats, games journalists, and all that, how they felt about it, right? So really, because there was a big kind of had the rallying sort of moment with folks that are, let's say, on our side of the aisle. It's not even more or less political. They just, when they use terms like conservative and right wing, it's basically anybody not them. It doesn't mean anything, absurd. Right? Like folks that have been
usually lib.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? People that have been in support of Stellar Blade have been across the political spectrum, if you will, but to them they don't care about that. It's like they need a boogeyman term to describe their enemies, and so conservative, right wing, this all those terms actually mean. So that's what it's about. When you have folks like on our side of the aisle rallying behind this game, that's when they determine that, okay, well, we have to come out against it. And they will be hypocrites to themselves. I mean, this was game of the year. Baldur's Gate was game of the fucking year last year. So it took them 4 months. That's it. Before them to basically be hypocrites. It doesn't take long at all because they don't care about hypocrisy at all. It's not their thing.
Well, and that's why you're seeing people that were on the left starting to shift over.
Yeah, well, they say they're turning conservative, but what they really mean is they're turning libertarian.
Yeah,
because most gamers have never actually been far in any direction. We've always been slightly liberal minded. I mean, most games that have stories end up being about having some kind of rebellion against an oppressive, overwhelmingly powerful enemy. That's why the game is a challenge. It's why usually you beat the game, you've toppled some massive institution or something. We're ingrained for rebellion and things like that, and that's a typical liberal kind of thing. We're not right wing really in any way, but what we are is extremely libertarian. Get off my back.
To add to your point, Will, I brought up the hot coffee mod. I grew up, I was very liberal. My mom was very liberal. The hot coffee controversy was the first time in my life I started to hate Hillary Clinton. So
it took that
the
long.
way they attack it, it just pushes people more and more to more logical side, I would say.
Yeah, and they hate it. But it's basically that if you can think for yourself, you're automatically the enemy.
Yeah,
absolutely. They'll call you far right.
Yeah, perfectly.
There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground anymore. That's the problem.
I think
no. There's middle ground. It's just
I saw that
they done went so far that way that they think the middle ground is the right.
Yeah, anything to the right of
that's
fucking
what I'm
Stalin is right.
There is no middle ground.
They jumped off. They're like there's the far right and there's the far left, but then there's an edge on each side. I think they've jumped completely off the fucking edge of the the left side to the point where
they're not even on the bloody thing anymore.
Yeah, they're not.
Again.
They fell into the sinkhole.
And when you're Alyssa Mercante and you have a tattoo on the back of your thigh that says "All men are the enemies," and then you have an idiot like Sugar Bear Adams who brings said woman on his platform to talk about how trash gamers are, and you're like, you fucking overweight moron. Do you not realize she has a tattoo that says you are her enemy?
Yeah. That guy doesn't have a fucking clue. He doesn't have any self-awareness either.
Those are people that have nothing to offer into society. So they just latch on to politics, and that's where they fit in. That's where they can have a voice. They're nobodies, really. What do you offer?
Sugar Bear is a douche. He looks like gay Uncle Phil. He really seriously.
Disparage Uncle Phil like that, man.
Come on.
I think the dangerous.
He looks like the black Greg Miller. He really does. If you see the way he smiles, he's got that. Sorry, go on.
No. Go ahead, man.
You look like Minnie Mouse on crack.
Listen, I was gonna
there it is.
Make a video roasting Sugar Bear Adams. I thought his platform was much bigger than that. That motherfucker got less than 1,000 views in that review where he tried to roast us with that stupid ass thumbnail.
Bro, all these people defending Alyssa Mercante, they're all like mainstream shills that somehow have jobs in the mainstream. But if you look at their platforms, they average less views than even Dragon Slayer. I mean, that's like,
first off, my views are high.
Dragon Slayer uploads
he didn't even do anything.
Damn, Dragon Slayer, you gonna take that?
Shit, no, I didn't mean to get more
retroactively.
More views than both those videos.
One at a time.
Everybody at the same time.
Pause. The danger is that the left is hijacking our mind. That's the problem. They put us in constant controversy. They let us believe that they really care that some game avatar represents a political current. Of course, they don't really believe that. It's just they take this as anything else, just as an alibi, as an excuse, as an apology to put political matter into a completely rational, creative discussion. So what they're doing, they're weaponizing politics as a matter, as a catalyst of controversy, of everyday debate to further split people. This is socialism in its playbook. Like if you look up Bakunin, if you look Joseph Pirdo, all these people, Propotkin, Marx, Engels, Feuerbach, all, Hegel, these people, they believed in splitting up people, animalizing their instincts, taking away their faith. This is exactly what they're doing, catering to the mass that there should be only one apparatus telling people what's good and what's bad, and then ultimately, lead them into this hyper-communistic, system.
And how do they always work their way into it and destroy it from the inside too?
Yes, they don't care about these characters. Well. Yes, that's just sparking the controversy, having us debate, letting the ants fight against each other instead of realizing that they're fucking manipulating us.
Really quick, just want to go over this tweet. So I put out this tweet because I was basically tired of the people being really disingenuous on the argument on Stellar Blade. And I know it's like shooting out to the moon, right? Like I know that they're doing it purposefully, right? Like they're not being disingenuous because they're just retarded. I mean, they are, don't get me wrong, but they're doing it because we know that, or they know that they're trying to downplay the argument. They're trying to disparage it. So I basically just came out and said that the problem isn't a few pieces of fabric added to clothes, which is what they're trying to make it. The problem is a lack of consistency, at least for me anyway. If the game is Western developed game and pushes the right narrative, then anything and everything is fair game and allowed. If the game is developed in the East and showcases more standard forms of beauty that are 100% still realistic and just not attainable by the ugly psychopaths in the Western gaming industry, then that's just going too far. It needs to be censored. You can literally watch a 200-pound muscular female get railed by someone she can bench press, but you can't see some titties on Eve. And it's a hypocrite, right? Like going back to the whole Last of Us thing.
I mean, that's the best example you could possibly use because it's just literally sexy.
Right. Well, then the response. Oh, so hold on, because the responses I got to it were extremely disingenuous too. Because then they're like, "Well, one cutscene in a overall long game is not sexualized, but the entire reason, the entire reason for Eve's existence is sexualization." I'm like, if you're playing this game, honestly, I'll put it like this: I was playing Stellar Blade last night. there was probably only one time I thought sexualization. That's when I was going up the ladder, like literally.
Well,
every other
that
time.
was one of the complaints of one of like the Games Radar guys or the gamer. That's what he was saying. He was like, well, it's out of place essentially because they don't sexualize Eve and she doesn't really acknowledge it like through the storyline or anything like that, which to me, that's just a good game, right? The gay shit isn't like getting in the way of like the actual game, right? Per se.
Yeah.
And for some reason they have a problem with it, but that's why they can justify, or they try to justify The Last of Us 2 or Baldur's Gate, because they act like it's more appropriate. It's like, well, you're being hypocrites if anything else, because you're not saying that the sexualization is actually the problem, because if we're going to be 100 about it, there's less of it in Stellar Blade than it is compared to a literal fucking sex scene in Baldur's Gate.
Well, not even just, bro, not even just the sex scene. In Baldur's Gate character creator screen, in the beginning, there's a little button, and I found this out the worst way. I was literally playing the game, making my character, and I got to the part where I realized there was a fucking dick slider, and I'm like, what is this? Wait a second. So
it was in Cyberpunk too.
I start messing with it, and I realize nothing's happening. I'm like, what is this supposed to do? There's like, it says penis A, B, C, D, and E. And I'm like, what is that supposed to do? And I'm looking, I don't see anything changing. And then I see a little box on the bottom that says remove clothes. Now I'm thinking, okay, like in what's the game? In fucking Elden Ring. Like when you choose to take your clothes off, you still got underwear on. So I'm thinking, all right, that's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna see, what I can make it the body, whatever. Bro, I clicked take all clothes off, and it just came out swinging. It came out swing. I was like, what the fuck is this?
See the pictures you posted that you probably can't show on the stream.
Ready. I was like, oh, so this is what females feel like. I didn't know that. Like, just came out swinging. So it was scary.
This is what it feels like.
That's what it's like to be in a 24-hour fitness bathroom right now.
But my thing is like, so okay, so if that's not sexualization, but this is like,
it makes
this is the problem.
It makes
like,
sense.
I can't take it seriously, and that's why. That's why.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. That's why I can't take their argument seriously when they genuinely try to go out there, or disingenuously really try to go out there and be like, well, it's just for the male gaze, it's just for sexualization. Like, really? If I looked at your tweet history, I guarantee you're going to be shilling for Hades, you're going to be shilling for Baldur's Gate 3, you're going to be shilling for Last of Us, you're going to be shilling for all these kind of games. But the moment you see a hot Asian girl, that's just too much. You got to put that modernity clause.
It's not allowed to be
Is that called racism at that point? Because like if you're all in for like men, naked Aphrodite titties, and then you're not in for Asian titties, then that just means you're fucking racist.
Yeah,
right.
That ain't like fucking.
But that's why I keep saying this is only happening, Slayer. Well, not only, but majority happening to Eastern games whenever it comes over to the West.
Well, it's all cultural, they don't like bro. It's all cultural because it's like, look. People are acknowledging that a lot of the cultural shit that we're having a gripe about all day long in the West, it's not necessarily a problem, let's say, in the East. And so what has been a major talking point for a lot of people these days, it's that, well, they're trending towards supporting things that are coming out of the East far more often, especially Japan, right? Because specifically that it's not a watered down version of whatever. So because their political enemies, their social political enemies have gravitated towards this, they have declared now that they are the problem, right? Which is why I believe that definitely over the past few years, they've been far more aggressive than they have been recently, or let's say in modern history, at like what the Japanese is doing and trying to, like with Capcom and what they're doing with the localization and all that, targeting that. And that's because we like the shit. That's all this is about. Their political enemies like something and are gravitating towards something, and they want you demoralized, right? They've already captured pretty much everything that's happening and being produced majorly, let's say in the West. They've already got their hands on it, but there's some major players on across the way that people are gravitating towards, and they can't have that shit. They don't like it at all. So that's why they try to tear it down.
And that's been getting bigger and bigger lately too.
Yeah,
it just undermines their ability to control the narrative. If you have an alternative available to you where you can escape from the politics and escape from all of this bullshit, then you're going to take it. But that's why they attack the pop culture and insert the politics in it in the first place, is because they don't want you to have anywhere to run to get away from the politics. That's why you've got all this fucking shit in everything that we used to use to escape. If you can still escape to Japan, if you like, then they're not able to control you as much as they'd like to. So that's why they must take that down as well.
And the Japanese especially have been killing it in terms of movies and games.
Japan,
They
Wyatt,
want.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear Wyatt. I'm sorry.
I say the Japanese have just been killing it lately too, in terms of like the movie industry, gaming, anime. Like they're really almost embarrassing the Western market, and rightfully so in many ways.
Almost, they doing it. They
100% realize that they have the opportunity.
They're running a train on the Western market.
You got to understand too, like they don't have the ability to actually they can't make this stuff, right? Like they know, like at least in the West, they can at least infiltrate certain avenues of entertainment and start to slowly influence stories like they have been and whatnot. But the East, they can't do that, which is why they're having such a hard focus on localization now and trying to make it a thing where they came out. What the fuck did they say? Localization philosophy? I don't, whatever. Anyway, some bullshit fucking way to basically say we're going to ruin this shit.
You don't need a philosophy when your job is literally just to translate something.
Localization.
That was the post. The point of the post was that it's not. They were like, no, our job is far more than just translating. Like we need to be cultural. It's basically sensitivity reading, right? And changing shit because Japanese or the Japanese find something less inoffensive. Let's say that we might find it offensive, so we have to change it to coddle the Western line of thinking, which is fucking crazy.
But
that's because of the
It's been 25 years since the West discovered hentai existed, so I think we're all pretty well rounded.
I personally think that the Japanese are far better at gatekeeping than the Western world because not many people realize
honor
their whole culture.
Post-World War II. Not many people realize that Japan has the world's third biggest communist party outside of China and Russia. They have plenty of far left-wing nut job operatives who could infiltrate and destroy their institutions. One of them killed a Japanese prime minister. Let's not forget this, folks.
If you look at the
That's why the Japanese are so much better at gatekeeping, and we've got to learn from their tactics. But we also have to understand that these progressive Ponzi motherfuckers are going to learn from what they've done in the West. They'll apply it to Japan, and they'll fuck it over. And then once they're done with Japan, they'll go to the Philippines or Thailand or who knows, Russia. The Russians just fucking criminalized furries. Maybe we should do the same. Because they are degenerate motherfuckers.
Philippines is getting more conservative, actually. So.
No.
You know, the issue is that they're just going to corrupt.
It conserve fuck all. Full-scale nationalist for me.
They're just going to corrupt whatever is useful at the time. And then after it's done being useful, they move on to the next.
Leave it destroyed in its wake. Just like Star Wars, Doctor Who, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings.
They're both talking at the same time.
Yeah, like...
I spoke my piece, Atreus. I spoke my piece.
Now we just go mom runs the dinner table. We're all like, damn. All right.
Dad started yelling. That's what it is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, who wants to go?
I think it was Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah. The thing about Japan was, always a thorn in the side of the Western powers since the 60s. They saw that Japan was so far ahead of the development. And think about it. We don't even have something close to the train system that Japan has in terms of velocity, connection, logistic, infrastructure, suburban connection, everything else. They built this already in the 70s. We're catching up with high-speed trains now in 2024. So the Western powers always had a problem with Japan, and they of course did a lot in order to kind of slow them down and decrease their power and manipulate the system a little bit from within. And they infiltrated their system, and the Japanese infiltrated our system. So now we're kind of coexisting in this bubble. But in terms of quality, in terms of still of production and dedication and consistency to the work, right? They are teaching us a great lesson that if you stay consistently on your path and you cater to your customers and you're great about your quality and try to innovate at the same time but keep the tradition alive, you're always going to be on the winning side. Of course, there are fluctuations in the business, right? But you can't always win. You can't always improve also on the money. I was always asking myself, you are a publisher right now, Eric, right? So do you feel the need for censorship? Are you going against some interests if you're publishing something in a certain way, or are you worried about certain countries accepting or not accepting your material?
For me, no, because that's a liberating feeling. Because I'll speak to what you're talking about, because that's a great point. For some people, they feel like, okay, doing things independently or doing things the way that they want to, they're going to hit a ceiling, right? And maybe you will.
Mm-hmm.
But for some people, they're so worried about being up here that they forget about everything in between. It doesn't even matter to them. I've said that, look, we might not, yes, we've been incredibly successful initially. And I'm not going into it with the anticipation that I'm going to be Marvel or DC tomorrow, right? I can't do that. I can't possibly be there. So but I'm okay with having a more slower and controlled sort of growth, because I get to keep my hands on everything. We don't have to worry about making deals with the devil or anything like that. And yeah, I tell people all the time, sure, in the last couple of years, we have made a lot, like almost $10 million. I've probably turned down more money than I've made, because I've had that opportunity to work with this company and work with that company, get this investor and get that investor. But because I'm a little bit stubborn, but also I want to remain independent, I don't do that. Other folks, and then maybe that's what happened with Shift Up, right? It's like you develop the game on your own. You'll for sure hit. You'll see a lot of success. But imagine if it's fucking Sony, right? It's PlayStation that's in on it. You're going to be way up there. So people are willing to make those concessions. And I think that that's a very, very important thing that you have to consider. If you are entering into entertainment, doesn't matter whether it's comics, publishing, gaming, doesn't matter, that you're not going to be able to see eye to eye with the big dogs initially. And to me, there's no problem with that. But I think those that are more obsessed with like the fame and maybe even the monetary stuff that comes with that, they'll sell out to whoever, and that's always
you gotta be able to pick your battles. I'll use me as an example.
Yeah.
Like, as a writer writing several things, if I was to write Diversity University and it got big and somebody came and wanted to pay $10 million for it, go on, you can have it. Whatever y'all do to the show. But when it comes to the book that I'm writing, you can't touch it. A
lot of artists do that. A lot of artists will do that. They'll work on like a main thing for money, and then they'll work on their own like real thing.
Yeah, like I got several projects that if somebody wanted to buy, boom, you can have it. You can put as many gay characters and you can do whatever you want to do to it. And while all the fans complaining, I'm gonna be over here counting while I work on the actual project, my baby. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
A lot of people do that.
Exactly. So,
and I wanted to add that it's funny that these people, the game urinalists that watch us, they call us gatekeepers. They always can accuse us of gatekeepers, but they only want to work for the literal gatekeepers that hold the doors that will let them into like the big doors, like what Erica was saying. They don't want to do the work of step by step. Yes, it's slow. Yes, it's painful at times, but you learn to master your skill every step of the way so that you're real.
And it's more liberating, bro. It's more fun. It's more liberating to do it your own. I speak from experience, man. And even with my band, and we saw the success that we were able to see just doing it independently. Yeah, I'd much rather have a smaller, tighter knit community or support group that I know is going to rock with me for me, than just having to play by all of these rules and be a miserable creator. Look, that's the reason why a lot of people, especially in the content creation space, when you see these bigger content creators, they're like, man, I got to fucking take a month off. Why? Because they're playing fucking pretend, man. And that's what happens when you have to play. You got to play ball. Like, you have to be someone that the audience needs you to be, or your sponsors need you to be, which isn't yourself. And that's exhausting. So just from the creative perspective, I wouldn't recommend anybody go that route. I think it's far more liberating. It's far more rewarding as a creative. It might be slow and controlled, though, and you have to be prepared for that.
Lord, I'm just curious. You're a comic guy. I'm a comic guy. Like, how much of an influence that was like Rob Liefeld and McFarlane and the Image comics? Like, how much of an influence was it, and the mistakes that they made? Because you've seen McFarlane rise to the top, fall right back down, then go right back to the top end, fall again. Like, you've seen these guys. Rob Liefeld, same thing. How much of an influence was it for you? And like, have you even contacted them about the mistakes financially.
I NDA myself if I answered the latter question. But I will say this much. Absolutely, particularly with McFarlane, right? Mainly with what he was doing with the toys, which kind of came full circle, right? Because now DC and those guys go to him. Hasbro's now going to him. When if you remember in the 90s, he came out fucking swinging. He was like, "Look, I'm doing it my way. I don't care about how everybody else is doing it. We're gonna do it our way." And I think that there's a lot of inspiration that comes from that. Just that line of thinking where, sure, it's an uphill battle, of course. When you have the established channels, the proper channels, as people would deem them, that you're having to compete with, it is going to be a tall order to be able to, especially in that day and age when they didn't have like internet and all that was really kicking off. It can be very difficult, but seeing that it is very much doable is nothing short of inspiring, at least for me. And also, again, to your point, learning from the mistakes. I think a lot of what happened with and still is happening right now with a lot of independents. I think people are going away from it now that crowdfunding and other elements have been introduced. But I've complained about the direct market for a very long time. It makes no fucking sense. Like I can't make nobody can. As far as I'm not actually convinced that Marvel and DC as the publication. I'm not talking about the toys or movies. I'm talking about publication. I'm not convinced that they've ever been in the green or in the black. I'm not convinced that they've ever been able to make money, like profit solely off of their publication. I think some of that has to do with how comics are distributed. When you have two middlemen trying to make everybody's getting a greasy hands on trying to make money on that comic. None of it makes any sort of sense. So that was part of what I learned from it as well. It's like, don't replicate the mistakes that they made, to answer your question for sure.
Well, and people
it's
don't
like
realize,
records.
Guys, time out. Wyatt, you got to go?
Yeah, I got to go. Bands are starting again in a minute. I got to go see Danny Elfman and then Slipknot and then System of a Down. Or as I like to call them,
Danny Elfman.
Millionaires who and haven't worked in 20 years of a down. But I want to jump on here and say hang out with everybody. It was really awesome to chat. The main takeaway for me of this is the importance of being independent. That's really what Eric has inspired me with my band, especially too, because we've gone through a similar thing of, you could reach a wider appeal if you change this about your style or do work in this certain ways. We're like, no, I'd rather be independent and be yourself, especially in a genre like metal. But I'm glad to see it go for comics and everything and just fighting the good fight. But thanks for letting me hang out with you guys. Everyone keep it up. Everyone's killing it right now. And follow me at Wyatt's Metal. I make fun of heavy metal stuff all the time. Check out my band, Dark Insanity, and I'll be done shilling for my shit right now.
All right, Wyatt. Peace out.
See you, Wyatt.
Have a good one.
You guys can finish up, and then I want to catch up on Super Chat. Scooch. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I don't think people realize, like, even the simple thing is cost of paper. It's gone up dramatically, and so like all these, like it's not easy to run a business, and you've been extremely successful. So like watching like guys like Eric Larson and Robert Kirkman and everything with Image Comics and the fall that they're starting to have now, this is like your opportunity to like be that standard. So like I think the way you're approaching things is smart. I think your marketing is brilliant. Even though some other people might be jealous of you and won't say it publicly, but I mean, I think what you're doing is the right thing and going about it. You've looked at from the outside looking in, it looks like you are looking and analyzing everything and taking everything from the past and saying, okay, this is how I'm going to approach it. This is the plan of attack. And so like moving forward, I'm sure you probably have more steps that you want to accomplish. But
well, yeah, absolutely. But I to your former point, I think the importance of everything and definitely doing it independent is doing what makes sense for you. Because I'm not going to pretend like everybody has $200,000 to $300,000 like I did laying around that they saved to make it happen, right? But what I did, because of the following that I have built, what I knew about business, again, the money that I had, our approach made sense for us. And I think that's kind of what's happening with the independents, is that people are having to find their unique economic models. And I would recommend that they explore that, because often when you do something different, you are going to get pushback. You're going to get people that say that you're doing it wrong. You're going to get people that say that.
Thing.
Yeah.
That's
Agreed.
the good thing, guys. What is it? You are just lazy. Take it in. The opposition is what makes you stronger. The suffering is what instructs.
100%.
All the great poets, all the great people will tell you that in their fucking quotes. Read those quotes and understand what they mean. Don't just fucking read it. Because it sounds smart. Understand that these people from the past who had major success are telling you all the same thing. Stop being lazy. Attack the boulder. Learn from your mistakes. Repeat the action till you get on top of the fucking boulder, and then take a look at the higher boulder and attack that one.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And if you don't do things on your own terms, then you are not going to get the results you want. It's very simple. Even something as small as having a YouTube channel, because it allows you to have, like, I'm happy as hell that I'm able to have complete control over everything that goes out on my channel. And when people attack me, I'm happy to come back at them and shoot them back down, but that's fine.
Man,
the point is, nobody else is responsible for it than me. If it dies, it's my fault. If it works, then it's my win.
That's liberating. That's liberating.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna ask a question, and you don't have to answer it, but like from the outside looking in, and I never claimed to be CG. I don't label myself anything. I'm a lover of comics. But when I see what's happening, not just with certain individuals going on full blast, what are your thoughts with that? Like, because like it seems like, for me, it seems like you're killing the industry that you're trying to promote. You're in a niche market, in a very small niche market. So why? And you're dying. The comic industry is dying, literally dying.
That's true.
And it's all manga, it's all anime. So I don't understand the logic. Yes, you're profiting short term off of this, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, and you can name whoever. But like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, do you just from what I'm only going on based on what I've seen. It seems like you're blocking out all the noise and just focusing on what you need to do. But I just want to hear your general thought. And obviously we're not going to say names, but your general thoughts when this is happening. It's just like you're shooting yourselves in the foot. Like you're killing the industry.
Yeah, it's not good for the industry at all. It's not good for a business as well. If the goal is to actually get out there and be productive with your properties and your comic books, it's unproductive. I'd make the argument. But like, yeah, for me, that was one of the things that I had to adjust with becoming now this owner of this multi-million-dollar company. And it took me a while to get there. I had to take my lumps there because I was still for a while there stuck in my old ways of, maybe going back and forth with people, or maybe a foot in, a foot out. But whereas to now, yeah, to your point, I'm blocking a lot of that nonsense out because, I got to be more professional, right? There's so many different things, cool things that I've been working on. And to me, that's what I value most. I value my customers, my actual supporters, people that are buying my comic books. And I'm trying to, of course, I want to expand that, not to sacrifice the actual audience for the sake of expansion, but I do want to continue to grow and continue to expand. But, it goes to what we were talking about before. When you do something that's unorthodox and you do see a lot of success, you're going to get pushback. It's an inevitable thing. You need to be ready for it. People are going to say what they have to say about you. They'll speak your praises. They're going to knock you. You're going to have to deal with both of it. And I came from the music industry, and that long prepared me, because nothing that I've dealt with now in comics compares to the crap that I had to put up with in music. Because music industry is grimy. It's far more grimier than what comic books.
I know. It's crazy.
It's dirty, bro. It is for sure dirty. But no, I do encourage people to still give it a shot, because I'll speak to, like, for example, when we hosted everything on our own website. I remember, and people that followed me know, when I floated that idea out there was a lot of pushback. They were like, why wouldn't you use like an Indiegogo or Kickstarter or something? And that's because they were more or less familiar with that. And that's not a knock to those people that had that expectation, but that's kind of what you're going to have to deal with. Not everybody can see your vision, and maybe that doesn't make sense for other people, and it can be very difficult for them to see that. But you still should get out there and give it a shot. And that's what I hope with independent entertainment altogether, that people are starting to find out. And that's what works for them, not just necessarily trying to replicate exactly to a T what somebody else did, because that might not make sense for you, but finding the unique ways that are unique to you, your business, your goals, your aspirations, and then finding and kind of coordinating a plan and executing it. So it won't really be a standard anymore, to quote Pantera, since we're talking a metal, but there won't be one. And I'm okay with that. Now, that can be scary for a lot of established people, because at that point, it's like a lot of folks might not make it on the other side if that standard isn't there anymore. But I welcome that. It's like, it'll be like the Wild West, and it'll be very competitive, and I love that. I love that.
Well, thank you for that.
mean,
I like it. It's
That's
great,
pretty
great
good.
answer. Yeah, it's a great answer, and you're doing really well with it. Like, you've done really, really well with it. So
thank you.
All right, guys, I'm going to catch up
absolutely.
on super chats really quick. We got Great Dead Polio for 2, says Badger's favorite Latinas here. Please don't ever use that word. Hurts me. Sammy 3-peat for $1.99 says long live the Gooch. I think he will live a long time. He's pretty wide Gooch. Panther 111 member for 11 months says free Stellar Blade. Censorship is wrong. Gaming publishers can F themselves. Well, I mean,
oh yeah, the hashtag from Grums.
I'm going to showcase a tweet after this that I think is going to be interesting. Hayden 75 for a 20 says Bridge is the company that's normalizing the cultist stuff. The goal is taking it out of HR departments and pushing it into every company and into life, so there's no escape. Game companies have been involved with Bridge. You know, I hear a lot about this Bridge stuff, and I'm probably going to end up doing videos on it eventually, but
it's true.
It's one of those rabbit holes.
Yeah, exactly. It's always called Bridge, by the way. In Germany or in Europe, it's called the Atlantic Bridge. It's the same, basically the same statues, and they're trying to infiltrate, mainstream media in Europe to kind of, tell the narrative and push certain agendas. It's called the same way.
Yeah, I know. It's been around for a little bit. Crazy. But people, like a lot of the stuff that people are finding out about now, it's been around for a bit.
Its inception was after the Second World War, believe it or not. That's when they started doing it worldwide, like pushing these Bridge narratives in those states that they've counted as allies. Incredible.
We got Vet Gamer Bosifus for 5, says they could easily put options for censored or uncensored. I think people would be okay with that. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, only the hardcore purists would probably still be mad at that, but still, it kind of, I don't know. You guys realize like there's armors and clothes for Eve that fully clothe her up. Like you don't actually have to dress her up slutty at all. Like you can dress her up perfectly fine, and it's kind of like the gaming journalists are out there complaining about sexualization, but you have to actively equip her with that outfit in order for her to even be sexualized. You could have kept her in the regular outfit if you want. I think I even said that during the gaming stream last night. I'm like, this outfit's not sexualized at all. If gaming journalists wanted to, they could keep her in that outfit the entire time. But of course not. They have to equip it and then complain about it. Justin Akinsola for $1.99. Come out swinging. That's crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. It was actually kind of traumatizing. Stray Beans for $7.99 says, is Eric concerned about the dramatic downward trend in total purchases for each of his campaigns? A loss of 32K customers between 3 campaigns.
I answer that. I don't think you should look at it like customers like that, because with our books, they're different properties. So when Spider-Man outsells the Punisher, nobody says there's a loss in customers, right? Nobody words it like that by any means. So no, I'm not at all. I wouldn't call it a dramatic downward trend at all, because we made more money in 2023 than we made in 2022, and we're on a trajectory right now, especially with our increase of volume this year, to make more money than we made last year. So I think we'll be fine. I appreciate your concern though. We'll be fine.
But that's difficult to do. Like, that's what I mean. You're really good at
beans.
Well, I mean, it's also a question you have to ask where it's if 32K is worrisome, and I mean hundreds of thousands of customers must be really, really worrisome for Marvel and DC. I gotta imagine.
Right. I mean, to your point, like our graphic novels, our books are competitive with them. We go through those like each month. Like we'd be our actual competition as far as like graphic novel sales, right? Not like a $2 or $3 floppy. I'm talking graphic novel sales. Our competitors are manga, right? And we're up there in top 3 every time we put out a book. So we're fine. We're okay. And look, there's companies making a lot less money than us that have been around for a while. So I think we'll be okay. Well,
people got to realize Marvel and DC and even Image they're not even getting close to 10,000 copies sold a month now.
Not no graphic novel. It's not even close. Like graphic novels, they're in like the 2000s. Like you'll get, especially original ones. I'm just talking trades. If you're talking originals ones like that, I Am Starfire or whatever that was, like that. Lord knows whatever that sold.
That was the worst thing I ever saw.
Mamma mia, that was bad.
I still remember when I saw that. I was laughing.
Why did you bring
oh God.
Why would you bring that?
It's like an original graphic novel, so you know that sold nothing. But no, it's like we're very, very competitive. But look, we could sell half the books that we sell, and we'd still be an extremely profitable company. So we're doing good for ourselves.
You're doing more than good, brother. You're doing way more. You're doing way more than good.
Future Boy for 5 says I read somewhere that Rippaverse is looking to hire localization DEI directors. What's the starting salary?
Stay clear of vocalization.
Pays well, apparently. A lot of them are around. Cold Classic Cage with $3 super sticker. Appreciate you, Cassie. Thank you so much. All right, I am caught up.
Should we show something, Hypno, or later?
Yeah, you want to do it now, or you want to do it? What do you want to do it? I don't care. Do it now if you want.
Let's do it now.
Go for it.
What?
Yeah, wait. Here it is.
You have it?
Yes, that's.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Zoom in on that one.
Yes, he finally made it.
Oh,
Zoom in on that.
Shit, Coach, you weren't kidding.
So you can see the details.
Nice.
Who the fuck is that?
Why do I look like Trace? Ryan ate Gooch, so this is wide over here.
Who is that? What the hell is that?
The fact he got the tongue out is like
that's sweet. Triforce tattoo.
You got Zelda here making me so underarm.
That's awesome.
Is that Leon?
Maybe I'll get that.
Leon.
Great.
Right below. Why?
Can you zoom in a little bit more?
It's like Raggedy Ann.
Zoom in a little bit more on Leon. Go down.
On Leon.
Dragon Slayer looks like a flaming homosexual dragon.
That's
that?
not me. I'm in the left of Will. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I didn't see that. Wow, you gave him a trans freaking necklace too.
What the fuck?
Look at that.
Can I ask what the teddy bear, the undead teddy bear on my hoodie is about?
That's your secret animal. We don't want to talk about that.
Fuck?
That's like your psychological pitfall that you have deep down.
That is
that's
insane.
Him.
Deep down,
I'm calling everyone out in this goddamn
guy with the beard.
Once again, I get off easy. Everyone's always so nice to me. I never get roasted.
You got everything.
That's awesome.
I'm glad you like it.
You got me looking like one of those characters in that sorry ass Good Times remake. God damn it!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Got my pad.
FBI approved. No.
Let me bring up this tweet really quick, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of more of an idea about the hypocrisy of Stellar Blade. Then we're gonna move on to Lara Croft. So there's this post that I made showcasing kind of like different articles from the same exact writer, and it's pretty telling. So this writer by the name of Austin Wood, he says that the Baldur's Gate 3 patch notes didn't mention the most important change, but players sure found it: penis physics. Right? Then
sorry, it's just the way it's framed as the most.
That's Austin Wood. That's the guy. That's the same guy that wrote the other article, right?
Yeah. So then we got this one.
Yeah,
we got this one by Austin Wood. Stellar Blade puts Eve in some incredibly stupid, sexy outfits that hurts the game's story. But despite the sex appeal, I actually love her detailed design.
For real.
So
I think Mr. Wood likes the wood. That's what's going on here. That's
he likes big.
Nah, dude, if you read that article, it's way worse. This guy is like, he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. Me and Az went through the whole entire thing. He's basically fighting demons because he likes it. He likes Eve's setup and everything. But I think he's worried that his colleagues would be mad that he enjoys it, right? So he's talking out, he called himself like asexual or something like that, but he also then said he was sex positive as well. So he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. It's a crazy read if you
so you're telling me the man is a flaming bisexual. Is that what it is?
That's ask Austin Wood. Ask him. What
you don't ask him by yourself.
Like,
a fucking worm. What the fuck?
What the fuck
this?
does sex positive even mean? I keep hearing it, but I haven't actually learned what the hell it actually means.
You like? Never mind.
You like to fuck? Is that what it means?
I guess. Yeah.
So everybody is then. Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, but the thing is,
we're a sex positive
add
species.
Titles, though. You gotta add
Those
titles.
weirdos
Titles
have
make
a
you
fucking
special.
name for everything, dog.
Bro,
Yeah, that's it. It's gotta have a fucking pigeonhole.
It's interesting that the people they say don't label them are the first ones to label themselves.
Label themselves all the time, yeah, all the time.
He called like what did he called it his superpower. He called it
wait.
Well,
him being
I just finished saying I don't label myself, and now you're saying that. So whoa.
I'm sorry, Gooch. I didn't mean you. So it's just another example of hypocrisy, right? And this is, I mean, a few months apart. He wrote this in December of last year. You know what I mean? We're in April, 4 months apart, 5 months technically. So you went from sexualization is amazing. Look at these penis physics to sexualization is bad. But I actually like her design. Like you just seem like you're having a little bit of identity crisis. But they all seem to have that because, like I said, it's not about any kind of real consistency, and that's my biggest issue with this stuff. And I even say this in his post. Listen, man, if you're fucking gay, if you like seeing dicks and balls on screen, all for it, man. Go have a great time. It's cool.
Did you just call him babe?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm not letting you get away with that.
What?
Look,
You said babe. Did you just call him babe?
Gay.
he said gay, motherfucker. What?
No.
Gay.
Rewind that.
What is wrong?
Trey is hearing some shit, man. You gotta take out
Many
the
red
flags.
flags.
Stop eating so loud. So you got, again, if you're gay, then that's your own thing. That's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? But don't fucking then write an article being a complete hypocrite and saying that, a female character like Eve is over sexualized and it's stupid, forced, sexy outfits. It's hypocrisy that I can't.
It's the usual thing, isn't it? They like all of human history, every culture in the whole of human history has seen the female form as beautiful, artistic, and appreciate that. While guys' bodies are more utility, we don't really particularly celebrate them, and so they want to celebrate. They have to be contrarian. They just got to be completely contrarian. So if it's a beautiful woman, it's bad. If it's a fucking dick swinging, then it's fine. Good. I don't understand. What are you saying, Trez?
Trey is going wild. Don't even bother.
You
just guzzling that white liquid back there.
Gross. Like we're hairy and muscular and shit. We're disgusting to look at.
We're not for looking at. We're for doing stuff
every day. Like that's why I'm always complaining about it being a sausage fest. It's like looking at you guys is fucking horrendous. You know what I'm saying? We're fucking.
Hey, look,
man. You ain't exactly an oil painting yourself.
At least I put a picture.
And which way you looking at
us,
center?
Okay, on my freaking background.
He's like, credit. He comes on SNH and he's like, "Wow, this is going to be one challenging wank."
Jesus.
That's determination.
No, the music.
You guys seen this meme? I've been seeing this going around in like five different versions.
Yes,
your booze mean nothing. We've seen what makes you cheer. It's fucking. It's so perfect.
Yep,
it's so perfect. And it's for all of them, man. Like they're such fucking hypocrites. I can't stand it. I can't. I think
they have to attack. It's not even about the sex. It's about
rules
beauty.
for thee, not for me.
And that beauty, the beauty represents human normality. Homeostasis throughout fucking thousands of years.
Yes,
that's what's really under attack.
Yeah,
normal
beauty is also
average humanity.
Also, right. Beauty means also grace. Beauty means also elegance. Beauty means also symmetry. This is what all these Marxists hate. If you focus on these beauty concepts, because they are not artificial or superficial at all, because as an artist, kind of replicating that beauty makes you also more beautiful spiritually. And so they don't want that. They want the faith of the dirty, of the ugly, of the denigration, right? So they can... The rule is to have no grace at all, no elegance at all. Everything is conformity, everything is sloppy, everything is lazy.
They're not allowed to have any magnificence whatsoever in any kind of
excellence.
Art, in any kind no excellence, no meritocracy, no beauty, no health, no nature. Just and again, everything weird and warped.
We're not talking about socialists from the what was that?
Even I bet Vosh loves Baldur's Gate 3.
I gotta tell you, totally random fucking comment, but I gotta be honest, man. when I saw Mighty Keith cucking for all this shit that's happening with the censorship, I actually watched his content a lot. I was like, damn, I didn't realize this guy was such a bitch. I had no idea. I had zero idea.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro. I was subscribed to his channel, but I mean,
I still am. I still enjoy his content. Don't get me wrong. We want to make that very clear. But
he hasn't been putting out like he used to. I don't know if his content, if his stick is running dry or what. But I've been seeing him more on Twitter, being a social justice warrior. That's why I kind of been like it's weird because when I started to get back on Twitter again, I started making content.
Yeah.
No, I was watching him well before I started making content, and then I'm seeing him on Twitter like every few months. I'm like, the fuck. But that's what happens. Like we talk about that in Hollywood, where you got actors and actresses now who social media was the death of their career. Being able to
that's such
tell
a
us
fact.
who they were, and then we started realizing, like, damn, you a jackass.
What's that saying?
Yeah, I mean,
never,
again,
never
less is
meet
more.
Your heroes. I think that's a saying, right? Never meet your heroes.
You should never meet your
thing.
heroes. Yeah, that is definitely a saying. Yeah, an old one actually. That's
Yeah,
the problem. We got to see too much of them because when they were before social media, let's say, you're only going to see actors in the movies or at award shows, and even then they're just reading lines. So you never see what they actually think about every single aspect of human life until we got social media, and then suddenly they all come out and talk just as much bollocks as everybody else, and so any shine that was on them is completely gone.
I was one of those people that was outraged when old girl told LeBron to shut up and dribble. Yeah, I was outraged. And here we are years later. I'm like, LeBron, shut the fuck up and dribble, nigga.
yeah.
It's a good job. It's a good job that Coach is not here because actors, actresses, they're paid professional fucking liars. Can't trust a word they say in front of the camera. They are literally trained from the education level.
Oh my god!
Here's $100. Tell me a lie.
Read people's lines. I provide the scripts for all of Coach's monologues. Just saying.
Yeah, he's his right. Here is right. That's why.
Man.
That's why you.
If you didn't know,
20.
Eric, Coach has been acting coach for a very long time in his career.
35
He's
years.
been in the acting industry in both Europe and now here for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean,
great talent.
It's clear when someone actually takes something like that so very seriously, as
If
for the
you
good that
need
it can do
someone
for
to
mankind.
train actors and actresses, Coach is the man for you.
You said that.
I'll say it
About
again.
5 times now.
He's got that. He's got that gaming journalist memory.
I did not say it 5 minutes ago.
Like, what you mean? I just said that. Like, you didn't just say it. You also wrote it in an article. What you mean? I don't know what you're talking about.
Blocked.
Let's talk about the
shout out
talk about the Lara
Shadow
Croft
Legends.
shit, man, because we're almost 2 hours in, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are rocking out tonight. Let's talk about Lara Croft. So this is a prime example of a company just straight up bullshitting you to your face, and also a prime example of gamers just taking a massive win, right? So, you know, a lot of people made us think about this, and I think we talked about this last SNH, I believe, about post launch censorship, right? Like a couple weeks after a game launches, they decide to want to censor the game, and people causing a big stink over it, rightfully so. But apparently,
and they already did plenty with Tomb Raider. They put that fucking disclaimer at the start where it says that it represents opinions and themes that are bad for humanity and outdated and all that bollocks.
We had a debate over that on the last stream where we were talking about, did they lie or did they not lie? It's kind of like the same thing with Sellerblade's comment about censored versus, is that actually a lie or not a lie? Because they said that they were presenting the game in an unaltered form, right? And so then we got into the conversation about censorship after the fact, and if that still stands to be true. But basically, what ends up happening is after the big stink, these are the posters, by the way, for those who maybe don't know. You'd be surprised how many people still don't know. These posters got removed from Tomb Raider 3, the expansion, I believe. They completely removed it. I think there's a picture right here. So this is how it looked after the patch 2. This is how it looked during the initial release. And now, apparently, according to the Asper Media, they said, and this is where the bullshit comes in, they said that, it was removed by accident. It wasn't supposed to be removed, that they were changing textures and it accidentally got removed, and they're going to be putting it back. So you guys can kind of chime in on that.
I know you made the comparison with this and Stellar Blade, but this ain't the same to me, in my opinion, because for one, they're both single player games, but this one was already out. So if I buy some shit, don't fucking touch my game, bro. If it's a single player, if we talking live service, okay, cool. You got stuff you got to change. Something might break the game. But if I pay full price for a game when I get it and it's single player, I don't need to be online. I don't need to interact with nobody. I don't need no added content, none of that. Don't fucking touch my game. People talking about, oh, it's just a poster on the wall. Bitch, that was included however many cents it accounts for when I bought the game. If it was,
this is the problem, isn't it? I mean, this is the problem with like Ubisoft coming out and saying
let Atreus finish. Hold on, time out. Atreus finish.
Fuck. Go ahead.
You got it. Sorry, man.
Go ahead.
Sorry, dude.
Will.
It's just like with Ubisoft, the danger of not owning what you actually pay for is, they can go in and they can change anything because you don't actually own it. You're just basically renting it from them. Like going into a restaurant, ordering steak and fries, and then they come along halfway through and steal your steak and replace it with a tofu slab. And then you say, what the hell are you doing? I paid for this. Oh, yeah, but it's still ours. We can change anything we want about it. It's ridiculous. You wouldn't put up with it in anything else, so why do you put up with it in gaming? No, that's all I want to say.
Atreus, what else you got to say?
Oh, no, you good. We're good.
So when I was making the comparison, I was just making the comparison in the sense that both of them are technically post-launch, patches, even though Stellar Blade was a day one patch. And this one was, I think, like a month or so after, or a couple weeks. Regardless of the situation, it's fucking posters, right? But still, it's the idea of it. The moment you have people try to be disingenuous, right, and try to say, well, it's just posters, it's not a big deal, right? That's where I don't believe you, right? Because you're gonna have people who say that, and then they're gonna talk about other things that they're gonna want you in the future to want to rally behind them and say, well, it's a big deal to me, and I'll be like, well, what's the big deal? It doesn't matter, right? So at the end of the day, you paid for a product. The product had certain things, and it had it because actually in this game, you could switch between original and remastered. So after they patched it out and the posters got removed, if you switch back to the original, the posters were still there. So it's not like the posters got removed in the original and the remaster. They got removed only in the remaster. So censorship at the end of the day is still censorship, whether it's 1%, 99%, 50%. It doesn't matter. If you're okay with partial censorship, well, I hope you're okay with eventually full censorship, because that's what you're going to get if you don't push back against it at all, Yeah,
100%. If you don't make a fuss when they censor a tiny thing, then you're just basically inviting them to do anything they want, and they'll know they can get away with it because you didn't do anything at the beginning. Give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
It's like being a woman and he says, let me just stick the tip in. Yeah, he's saying that now. But eventually, he's going to go the whole way, and you're going to have a problem.
This thirsty motherfucker just turned to basic talking.
Well, that's how he gets them, Dragon. That's how he gets
them. No. God damn it. God damn it. What the fuck? My camera went off.
How you love them white women. You say, it's just a tip, gal. And then you go full in, and they have their lives. Yeah.
What?
What the fuck? I don't know how. The second this thing went deviant, my fucking camera died. Oh well.
Good.
Oh well. Now
your microphone dies next.
Fuck you.
You don't have to deal with your endless second-rate fucking monologues. You're not coach. You never will be.
You know what's funny though? You know what's funny about these posters? They're not even anything crazy.
I'm kind of on Ryan's side with that one.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm just playing.
That's shocking. But about these posters, bro. These posters aren't even like, what are they? You got a nude Lara Croft facing down on her
bikini.
bed.
She's done a bikini photo on the right, and the other one she's just laying down in like her exploration gear from.
They're promos from the 90s.
Yeah,
I saw both of those posters in magazines when I was like.
They were actual real posters, right? Like they existed at some point.
You could actually. They gave them away with like PlayStation Magazine and things like that. There was a weird thing in the 90s where Lara Croft became kind of like a sex symbol beyond just being a video game character. So she was a pin-up, and she appeared all over the place. On
maybe that's not, and maybe that's why she's not as relevant as she used to be, because they done took the sexiness away from her ass. Like I remember back in the day when you see Lara Croft, you was like, "Ooh." Ooh, we were sad little children, huh? Getting excited over some pixels.
Isn't that what's still going on now?
No,
Yeah,
We're
this is
like-
what
now we're like,
characters
now we're
have
going
to.
to war for a pair of digital tits. You know?
Isn't that what the argument is? You just want to fap to Stellar Blade?
Yeah, you kind of
Just whatever
sold us
reason.
out there.
the man likes what the man likes, I suppose.
Yeah, but no,
I mean,
seriously, like people who are talking about this and they're trying to say, oh, it doesn't matter anyway. It's just posters. It's like a small percentage. It's not a big deal.
that's
Yeah,
just a
well,
slippery slope.
that's how it starts. Congratulations, you're a cuck at this point. Like you
The
might as
little
well
things, as we
just
as we
accept
all
it.
know. Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, just accept it. Like just admit it. Like you're okay with partial censorship as long as it's something you don't care about, as long as it's something that doesn't affect you, as long as it's not your status quo. You're perfectly fine. But the moment it affects you, that's when you want to bitch about it. Because God knows most of those people, the moment you take a tranny out of representation, all of a sudden now it's a problem. Oh, what do you mean we're not gonna have LGBTQ representation? What do you mean? Oh, it's not that big of a deal. What happened? It's just small censorship. It's okay. You're fine.
I think it's absolutely amazing how white women have whipped white men into shape. Boy, that shit's
straight cucks.
Like straight.
Crazy.
I'm sorry, Will.
And they wonder why us Puerto Ricans and black people are stealing their women. It's crazy.
I'm not with a white woman. I'm in Asia.
Well, no, I'm not. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to you for that. But goddamn,
I'm with a hot little brown girl.
Y'all went from slanging whip to getting pimp. This is hard out here.
Yeah, no, you don't need to tell me.
Remember we went. What was that back and forth with Jeff Grubb? God, I didn't realize you could be that big and be such a cuck, man. Like, golly.
Bro, that's what's been my questions. What is going on with the big dudes with the muscles and the beards, and they act like total bitches? What is up with that? I've been seeing them left and right on Twitter, and I'm being blocked by them like how is that possible?
It's the indoctrination. The indoctrination.
I expect that from Ryan, not from you motherfuckers. Like that doesn't make any sense.
I'm called reality based for a fucking reason. You
He's like the most offensive
this
one.
stream, Hypno.
Oh, it's just crazy.
I saw that though, Hypno. You had a back and forth with like some guy whose name was literally Burly Muscly.
Yeah, that's Alyssa's fucking cuck guy. Yeah.
And the guy looked jacked and like he had a big, strong beard.
He had a great beard. I complimented it. I was like, dude,
complimented him on
his
it.
fucking beard majestic, but you're acting like a bitch.
Steroids. That's the answer.
Yeah, but you should have like testosterone. You should be fucking bro.
But it's only supposed to shrink your balls physically.
Not to bring this to a race thing, but it's like what I say in our community. If you actually got most black men in a room by themselves, most black men, like, and you told them they mama ain't gonna know, they're pretty fucking conservative. But when they get out there into them streets and the eyes of the black woman is on them, niggas start tap dancing. Oh no, I believe in that you do whatever you want with your body, and oh no, the immigrants. This isn't our country. The immigrants can come in like they want to. Oh no, women should be able to do whatever they want with their body. Fuck out of here, dog.
2 minutes later, Felipe steals your woman.
Felipe. Oh
my god.
You're not fucking right.
That was actually good.
But listen, what do you guys think overall about this shit? Like, is it a big deal? Is it not like,
it's
unfortunate.
Let's talk
about the fact that let's not talk about censorship because we did that last stream. Let's talk about the fact that they're actually changing it back, right? Like, is that something that are we hoping to see that
it's
happen?
A win.
It's
a win.
It's a small win,
no doubt. I mean, the thing is, the unfortunate position we've been put in is that if they do something like this, we have to make a fuss about it. We have to call it out. We have to, because otherwise, it's like I said, it's just the beginning of the slippery slope. You're allowing them to get away with a small thing because it's only a small thing before there are tanks at your front door. Well, so to speak. So yeah, it's fantastic that they're going to put it back, because if they didn't, then we would have taken it out. And
we know that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if the person who's in this profile picture is this actual guy.
I'm telling you.
But I mean, if it is, that explains a lot. You actually might have a point. Bitch behavior is not, just tied to non-beards.
It's not a symbol of masculinity. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you serious?
Only a soy-infused person would say that.
No, probably a female behind that. Because you know what? There was one chick on fucking Twitter trying to roast me, talking about he got a patchy beard. I was like, girl, patch these nuts in your mouth. Ain't nothing patchy about my fucking beard. And she had the nerve to be a fucking stud.
Oh no!
Out of here.
That's terrible. We don't like those. Yeah, but I do think it's a small win. I really do.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny that they actually had to come out with a statement on top of that too, because they like I said before in my last video, this has been sitting for weeks, right? Like they've been getting the backlash for weeks. If this was a mistake, I feel like you would have said something much sooner. You know, you didn't mention anything until you were talking about patch number 3, and then you tried to sneak it in there, like, oh yeah, by the way, you made a mistake. Don't worry about it. Like, no, it doesn't work. That nobody's believing that, right?
Yeah, no, they only did it when they absolutely had to. They wouldn't have done it if they hadn't been called out for it. 100%.
Which is also weird because it's Crystal Dynamics is not the one who made this game. Asper Media did. So, but then again, Crystal Dynamics put the trigger warning in the game, so clearly they have some form of, I don't want to say control, but they have some sort of influence on the remasters. I don't know. I don't believe this was a mistake at all. But hey, it's a small win, and we're here for it.
Well, little things add up, whether it's in terms of praise or criticism. I think Starfield is great proof that you can have a meh game. There's nothing outright wrong with it. It's just lots of little things that are wrong with it. And the same goes with this situation. It's a little thing, but when it connects the dots with other companies, all these little things to get a foot in the door, death by 1,000 cuts, that sort of situation.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to highlight the problem. And from that, which is what we do, we find a solution to that problem. And the third stage, which this man has managed to achieve, is to be the change you want to see, whether you like the Rippaverse or not. 2 things are absolutely true. 1, the Rippaverse isn't going anywhere. It's here to stay, and I'm sure it'll keep on going and keep on growing. And 2, opposition to the Rippaverse is not going anywhere. And I think that will be true as well. So 3 steps to victory. 3 steps.
He's married, which means the chances of them trying to Me Too him up on out of here is low as possible. Because you know they do that to everybody. We like they're trying to Me Too Henry Cavill right now.
Oh, damn, that's off the list, guys. We need to think about something else.
Well, Atreus, maybe you should get married.
Hey, you guys want to see how to piss off a soy infused person? Check this out.
Oh Lord. Oh, okay.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Let's see. What do you think? I'll pick a number between 10 seconds and 24 hours.
69 minutes.
I mean, it was gonna happen.
What the fuck?
If he hadn't said it, I was gonna.
2 hours?
69 minutes.
So 1 hour and 9 minutes.
If you show it with your
what about
hands,
30
it's
minutes?
Even worse.
Yeah, just
exemplify.
30 minutes is good.
69.
Okay.
30 minutes is fine.
All right, cool. Let's do 30 minutes. All right, cool.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, it's done. Perfect. I just have to put a leftist on timeout. They hate it. They go crazy. He's probably going to go on an alt account now.
That was the count. So
no, you didn't. Oh, that's great.
You guys don't realize, like, I have no problems seeing opposing like comments. I actually love it. You guys know I fucking have fun on Twitter. I get off on it, but ultimately,
I don't want to know what else you get off on. Please,
it's okay. You'll find out eventually. But at the end of the day,
you'll find everything out. It's right. You're trying to
welcome
at the end of the day. If you show me that you're so invested in the show, like, if you're a hater, you're not invested in the show, I'm just gonna let you rock because I know it's not gonna mean anything to you. But when you show me you're so invested in the show that I know if I put you on timeout, you're gonna lose your shit. You know damn well I'm gonna do it. That's why I blocked Alyssa Mercante the moment she unblocked me. I don't give a fuck about blocking her, but I knew blocking her was gonna make her go crazy. You can't give me that ammo. You can't. I'm just gonna have fun with it. Anyway,
you're gonna have Bulma on the card tonight.
It's on a silver plan.
Look, Hypno, if you feed into it, it's gonna feed you, and then you feed into it, it feeds you, becomes a vicious circle, creates that great tornado, and I hope to God you can ride it.
Yeah, he went on an alt account ready. Shit, that was fast. I didn't block him though.
What?
I didn't block him. I put him on timeout. There's a difference. I didn't block him.
I think it's like to his other account. Boy, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Bro. Damn,
I only got 19 dislikes on this stream. I'm trying to get them higher.
If nothing else, man, I guess I can't say I keep them employed because Not getting paid. Keep them active. Let's just say that. Keep them active.
This is why, despite the fact that I have so little support, and I have. This guy's 250 times the size of me. I am an ant. He is a tree, but I have barely any opposition.
Are we talking physically?
I was thinking, is this dick talk again? Because
what's the he's got hair, you don't have hair.
He's married. I'm a virgin.
Bigger than mine.
There is a point to this.
Have a spine, Ryan.
The point is, if you don't feed your opposition, they fucking starve and move on.
What does
That's why I have barely any opposition.
Don't turn into Austin from that last article, bro. Just don't do it.
Look,
he
that's
has
why I don't
South
have
Park.
any
I have
opposition,
Shakespeare.
because I don't feed into it. I'm saying egregiously offensive, deplorable things. I have barely any criticism.
Listen, feeding into it is fun sometimes. Let me catch up. Let me catch up on super chats really quick, and we'll continue on. We got James Opportune says strong G gay. Interesting. We got Stray Beans giving me a free $14.99. Thank you, I appreciate it. We got Sammy 3P for $1.99. Says Stray Beans showers then shits afterwards. Nice. Okay.
It's a creative insult, man.
What the fuck?
It's a creative insult.
That is funny.
We got Mark Reality for 10 says they try to get away with the game changes with the TOS. I want to see someone bring up the TOS into a court case in the face of a competent legal team and see it get shredded. Adhesion contract. Wasn't there an example, a recent example, I think, of I'm trying to remember where TOS was brought up and it actually did not do anything. I gotta remember. If I remember it, I'll bring it up. But I remember there was a court case. I don't know if it was Activision Blizzard or something. I don't know. I gotta remember. Vex, thank you for the 10, by the way. Vex Eel for 10 says stop vandalizing the creative works of others. You puritanical modern day book burners. Let art be art. If you don't like it, don't buy it, but don't censor it. Well,
absolutely.
See, that's my biggest problem with this stuff is that going back to Stellar Blade really quick, the M rating is supposed to mean something, right? Like I feel like that's supposed to mean something. And if you're censoring M-rated games, I mean, at this point, what the fuck's the point? Like, what is so bad that it can't be in an M-rated game? Like
tits, apparently.
Go Eastern tits, Asian tits. Is that what it is?
And they're everywhere.
I don't get it, right? Like if I get it, if you're trying to censor the game to get a better rating, right, to make it more accessible, then okay, I can see that argument. But you slap this game with an M rating, like it's already as inaccessible as it's going to be in terms of rating. So I don't really see a point in fucking censoring the game. That makes no sense, zero sense in my opinion.
The crazy thing is there are games that are like 10 times worse and they're M rated, and you know what? Those motherfuckers don't give a crap about it because guess what? They're not as big as Stellar Blade. It's not going to get them publicity. They're just a bunch of grifters.
It's just fucking Sony. It is what it is.
It is.
Yep.
I am fully caught up. Perfect.
Cool.
Super.
So when it comes to like the discourse about Stellar Blade, I know you guys, I don't know, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. There is a lot of craziness going on, and I want to bring it up with Grums, where he apparently, I mean, listen, Grums is gonna be the center of a lot of hate, because when you're that guy that is the loudest and you're I don't want to call you the spearheader, but I guess I can in a way. I mean, Kabrutus technically is the one that started this all, even if it was accidental, but still, like when you become the spearheader of something this big, obviously you're going to get a lot of crazy hate. And there was a guy, whether it was a troll or not, we don't really know, to be honest with you, but you got to take it serious no matter what. Let me bring up the tweet right here. So he already deleted his account, mind you.
Yeah.
This guy put out this tweet here. Tone Man says $20,000 to anyone that makes this shit disappear.
Yeah,
flat out,
bro. That's a bounty.
Put out and this is highly illegal, I believe, mind you. Like,
it is.
It is illegal.
Federally
it's a
illegal.
Bounty, for Christ's sakes. That's what it is.
Put it on the dark web. Of course, it's gonna be fucking illegal. Oh my god.
I mean, this is not even on dark web. This is like
I know. I mean, like this kind of shit you would see on the dark web.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is kind of shit you would see on the dark web. You know, $20K to make this.
Nah, this is kind of shit you see in hip hop.
I mean, yeah, that too. Yeah, you got a point.
This is about as bad as when 6ix9ine got caught saying that shit on. No, it wasn't even get caught. He recorded it. It was like, I got a 20 piece on this guy's head. And then you in the federal courtroom, like, so yeah, it was him that actually did it. What the fuck?
Kind of sounds like the Wild West to me, folks. Someone putting a bounty on someone's head. My goodness.
Says the slave owner.
And it goes to show. Jesus Christ. It
what
goes
you mean,
to show
the slave owner of cardboard?
That the ones who claim to be most tolerant are the first ones to do shit like this, right?
Always.
Yeah.
Now,
It's
I've
always
seen a ton of threats against Grums. I mean, I don't have all the tweets. There's just too many. But this is the first one I haven't seen someone just flat out be like, "Yep, 20K to whoever kills this guy." Basically,
guys, I just want y'all to know.
Public
I just want y'all to know that there are gangsters on the street killing for $300, bro. This motherfucker said. This motherfucker.
That's true.
They killing for Gucci belts and Balenciagas. This man.
Whoa.
That sounds about right.
Who's selling Gucci stuff?
Huh?
You can do it. People here will do it for $30.
Gucci's like, hey, who's your guy?
For this man to say 20K, somebody could have took that seriously.
somebody probably did, for all you know, because he
So,
said,
guys, for them,
get it done in the Philippines. You know,
everything that is
$300. That's a lot.
yeah.
So legally,
Everything
what's
that is
happening
outside
with
the-
this? Is there anything legally that's happening with this? Because like, he can't.
I
just,
think
he
Grums
disappeared.
reported it, but the guy deleted his account.
I'm
So-
pretty sure.
Nothing will
Twitter
happen.
can find out.
Of course they
Yeah.
can. But let's be real.
If they can ban like 3 accounts I make on one device, they can sure enough find out who the hell he.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, legally speaking, like, all that Twitter will do is ban him if the guy hadn't deleted his account prior.
no.
And then
no.
maybe they'll make a
No,
it'll
no.
Fuck out of here.
No.
What?
What? There's going to be a huge investigation into this. You can't.
Oh yeah,
Hmm,
I'm
you
not saying there
think?
wasn't. I was going to
That's
mention
quite
like
literally
they would
what you
eventually
said.
report it, and yes, it would be investigated. But the thing is, law enforcement, especially in the U.S., they get like thousands of these cases every single day. So in terms of priority, they're only going to focus on the ones that they think have a higher chance of turning into something
Probability
more.
of
But yes,
getting
it
solved,
does get
actually.
investigated, but I'm not saying it doesn't get
It's
investigated.
100% a
Of course it
federal
does.
crime.
Dude,
It is
Remember
a federal
that
crime, of
kid?
course.
Yeah, like-
we had a
Yeah,
kid
it
go to
really
prison
is.
last year for swatting somebody.
Yes.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't tell me they won't investigate somebody saying.
I didn't say
20,000.
they don't investigate. I said they do. Like,
Remember that double
Yeah,
standard
thousands
we
of those.
talked about earlier? If the shoe was on the other foot, they would have had this guy arrested if he was a libertarian or a conservative having a hit on, say, Alyssa
Because it's a
Makante.
cult. And
Exactly.
because it's a cult. A cult believes they have the moral place, the high place. And so therefore their actions are just serving the greater good and are always justified, even though to the old standards that might look like a crime. But no, when it serves the purpose of the cult, then it's not a crime, then it's purification.
And these people control the power structures. They infiltrate the establishment. So, of course, it's rules for thee, but not for me. That's why these people are hypocrites. They have no values. Appealing to their values doesn't get anywhere. They care
I say
about
that all the
power.
time. I say that it's the most difficult enemy to fight, you know, man, because to combat them, you know, you want to use your own set of morals and ethics, but they don't themselves follow those, and they'll actually try to hold you to those standards that they will not follow themselves. And again, that's always a difficult enemy to combat.
Because it's a semantic enemy. It's a mental enemy. What they do well, and I mean, this needs to be addressed in order to also dismantle them in the future, is to really infiltrate your way of thinking, of reasoning, by creating through the, you know, the technical and constant exposure of lies and news and pictures you to a certain tendency of what you should accept and what you shouldn't accept. And so therefore you're biased, even though you want to resist it or you think completely differently, because you're exposed to it through, you know, every day. And this is why this enemy is more like a semantic enemy and very difficult to fight.
Well, our enemy is a parasite. So what do you do to stop a parasite? You stop feeding it.
You stop feeding it, yes. And what is the antidote? You know, you have to detoxify yourself from the parasite.
Hold up. When we had Aristocat utensil, spoon. When we had him on here.
Call him Spoon.
Yeah, you were talking about going full force and going straight at them and countering their. Now you're saying don't feed them. So which is it?
Spoon's approach, Gooch, is a very simple one. Those fuckers don't have values. Why should we, toe-to-toe, level playing field, get at these motherfuckers? Now, another approach, which is one that I support, is to starve these people of the attention that they deserve. Now, since we content creators are dictators of our own destiny, I would prefer to, sit back, relax, do my own thing. And that's why I am where I am today. But for the vast majority of creators, I think it would be best to go head on against these people because of what they're doing. They have no values. So why should we? Well, it's not.
No, it's always going to be, you're always going to have fighters. You're always going to have thinkers. You're always going to have maneuvers in the shadows and more active positions, right? Everybody is called to arms, right? Everybody is called upon arms to kind of serve the greater cause here, and someone does it with his own tools and instruments, reaching out to people, communicating like we do, informing people, creating own content, and just being on an excellent level all the time and trying to really kind of fulfill the purpose. Ultimately, what I feel, guys, what the message here is, these people, the parasite is a lazy parasite. It's a low vibrational, dark, sticky, parasitical entity. It wants us all to be conform and slow and in low vibrational mode, to hate, to constant controversy, to little conflict, still, keeping us in this constant panic mode and reaction mode, where I feel the other side is abundance, creation. And of course, there will be problems like what Eric addressed. There will be a lot of, you're going to face opposition, but the opposition is just an indicator that you're on the right path, that you're doing the right thing. If you wouldn't face opposition, then probably you wouldn't be interesting or of a threat for them. And the moment you face opposition, you're doing something right. And this is where you should continue push.
What the fuck just happened?
What?
Gooch?
A conversation with very deep esoteric talking, Atreus. Okay, it requires a...
Let's roll that back.
Oh, did I say?
Gooch asked Ryan a question because he thought Ryan had contradicted himself from a statement he made on the prior stream.
Well, I'm
Ryan
looking at it from
wait. Ryan tried to explain himself, contradicted himself again, and when I tried to ask him about that contradiction, Coach went on a monologue that had nothing to do with the contradiction,
and I was quiet the entire time. Go fucking figure. And everybody
welcome to Saturday Night Entertainment.
Like, what the fuck?
Look, I prefer to be a turtle in my shell and go like that of the first time.
But then you just advocated for everybody to attack it head on.
Yes, you people who are best at doing it.
This is the slave master we're talking about.
No. I want to roll back the tape. Because you were all hot and horny with Spoon. You were all hot and horny with Spoon, saying he's correct. We need to attack those fuckers.
Because he's the best at doing it. This is why I analyze fine folks and fellow creators. I personally want to take the best bits of everyone, and hopefully it helps me out. But it's hard to be courageous when you're one man on his island with barely any support. That's why I have.
I'd rather be one man on an island and stick to my morals than jump on board and lose a fight.
I do think strategically, I lean towards Ryan where he's going with that. I think everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. I know the coach kind of mentioned that as well. Like where really any movement, you've had the people that were like front lines doing one thing. You had the thinkers. You had the entrepreneurs. You had those types, and I think that's really how you're going to combat, which is what we're talking about. It's more or less social justice statism is really what we're trying to combat here, and it's going to require, I think, effort from everybody, and they need to do what they do good that they're good at, right? I've recently kind of transitioned into this space with the creative stuff. Like I don't stream as much, right? I don't do as many videos. A lot of my videos now are like coming from the 2 streams that I do maybe throughout the week, because now I feel like my contributions are more or less in the economy and like with doing what we're doing with Rippaverse and everything like that. That's where that's where God's blessed me. That's what I've seen the most success that I've ever seen in my life doing exactly that. So to me, that's him telling me this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But to others, right, it is maybe a little more confrontational, right, than I was before, and that may be their strength. So I don't think it is a one size fits all with combating this. I think you have to go with wherever your strengths are. But those that are creators,
my haters.
well, yeah, see, like guys, and I used to do that. I used to be that guy. I used to be known for being that guy, right? Like doing that. But then, Rippaverse happened, and it doesn't make sense for me. Like I'm taking away from one thing to do that, so it doesn't make as much sense for me to do that at all anymore. So I don't, right? I simply don't. For one, I don't even have the time to do that. So I think that's kind of what this is going to look like in the future. Everybody's going to gravitate where they need to.
That video of him roasting the fat egg shaped man. Boy, that
oh man, yeah.
Those are the days.
That motherfucker was sitting up in that chair. His stomach was way up here. He was like, "Oh, why would you say oh?"
Jesus Christ. You can't really do that when you own a company, though.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like it's different now. Like I was a lot more combative because I could be now.
There's
like
the censorship.
Gotta be a little bit more
censorship.
Yeah, you're very smart, you have to have. But you played the society really well, because at that time when you came out, you being like that Alex Jones kind of role, and I hate to use Alex Jones, but to be that in your face, putting your opinions out there, hit at the right time. Everyone was on board with that. That's smart marketing, and then you knew when to ease off. That's very smart. Like not too many people know how to ease off, go full in, and ease off. And I give you props for that.
Kind of play with the tempo.
All content creators develop. All content creators grow, except for my hairline. But the point is, in regard to that, it's true though. It's been shrinking.
Wow.
I cannot deny it. If I make money,
you are a Shakespeare-esque transitioner of arguments.
The assassination of Ryan Roger.
We don't even have to roast him anymore. He just roasted himself.
Thank you for proposing.
He's learned. He's getting ahead of the curve.
Statement like that.
All content creators develop. All content creators grow. In my case, I've gone from being, shy and polite to being extremely controversial. And in Eric's case, he's gone from nowhere to everywhere in the space of 15, 16 years. It's been a very long creative journey for you. And now you're in the best position of your creator journey so far. And I look forward to seeing the 50th anniversary of the Rippaverse when I am 73.
Man, don't let him work so long, man. Why? Maybe he wants to go, enjoy.
That means you'll have to make it another 50 years without being assassinated, Ryan.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You're going to have to leave that cardboard box first.
That's why he doesn't leave his house. Exactly.
Turning around and saying, wait, look at my hair. Love my self-deprecating humor. That's not going to stop someone holding a gun, mate.
I'm British. You don't have guns.
Doesn't work for me. It won't work for
anyone. Ain't that a fucking shame?
Trace, what we were trying to address, I guess, is what we all tried to contribute in that stream of conversation that Trace was pointing out that made no sense. In a way it did, because we're all trying to kind of, just participate and try to detoxify the masses that are brainwashed by this virus. And everybody, of course, uses his methods and his strengths and weaknesses to do so.
Bringing the best bits of every creator together in one solid thing while removing all the negative aspects can be very difficult.
I'm an acting coach, so sometimes people come in that already have been infected with the mind virus, right? And the first sessions, I literally just clean them out. I don't teach them anything. We first have to kind of, cleanse them from the BS of what they think a relationship is or a scene really is. Yeah.
Lesson number 1: blackface is okay.
I'll get my pen then.
No, but it's true. And once we get them to the once we get them to the core of things, it's really funny. Like they realize, oh fuck, like I've been kept in this mind cage in this customized cage for me, and now I see that I have way more to offer than just obeying to the rules and sticking to the program and kind of repeating the and endless, no, it's me creating, it's me stepping out of that and kind of being like this time really using my potential and not kind of pretending to be someone I've just invented on the spot to serve some sort of political correct narrative. Now it's finally you kind of expressing yourself, but it takes time to people to deconstruct that. That's why I'm saying it's funny, this new version that they are trying to infiltrate of whatever neo-Marxism, whatever we want to call it, it's quite tricky how it's built, right? It's truly mental and it's a psychological warfare.
Yep. I mean, everyone has something to contribute to the effort, I suppose, whether it's, railing on them really, really hard and never giving them an inch, and absolutely using the same tactics against them, like canceling people and really getting up in arms about everything. Some of us have to do that. Others can sit and make sort of more of a moral high ground stance. There's a place for that absolutely as well. And if you're lucky and you work really hard, maybe you can even graduate into creating a parallel economy like Ripper has. And that ultimately is what will win long term. But there's still a hell of a lot of spiteful name calling that we're going to have to just sit through.
Yeah, I think that's why, definitely with my newer approach, like I don't go out of my way, even though, I know what you were asking me earlier about, like, yeah, you got these folks taking shots, at me, like, and I don't engage, right? For that reason, right? It's like, to me, that's not effective. It doesn't help any of this cause or anything like that, especially with people that I may agree with on a lot of the issues. So I don't engage. That'll be a one-sided little obsessive affair on them. But long term, I do think that having those that are in the position that have those creative minds that are out there, being able to create, I think is going to be very, very vital to whatever this future is going to look like, because I've already came to terms with the fact that a lot of what I grew up on, that I've enjoyed, like as far as properties are concerned, like the Marvels and the DCs of the world, those are gone. Like
they're dead.
It's just those are done. So the alternative, then, it doesn't mean like I have to burn my books, right? Like I still have them, I still love them, I can still refer to them, right? But going into the future, like if we're talking about something that is new, talking about things that are fresher, I think that it is going to be maybe a little bit of it's going to look different. I think the age, at least in entertainment, the age of having these like mega corporations, you probably won't ever see a new one pop up at all. And I'm okay with that, right? It's going to be a lot more decentralized. You'll have the successes, you'll have the very, very successful ones, but it's probably not going to manifest itself into these mega corporate entities, and it's going to be a lot more decentralized, and I welcome that. That's a beautiful thing. But in order for that parallel to build, right, you got the guys that are out there that have the creative minds should be out there creating. I think that's going to be very useful. So you got to recognize your strengths and contribute in that way. So not everybody's meant to be that creative guy, right? Some people are meant to be supporting the creative guy. Some people are more useful in the commentary space, right? There are people like that are very eloquent, that can speak their minds and really break things down fundamentally and communicate that to the masses. They're necessary, right? They have 100%. A place, right? So you got to know your strengths and kind of attack it that way. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing right now and need to.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, like, when this is all finally over, what's left if we don't build anything?
True. That's
to replace the stuff that was destroyed? It would be disaster. So
That's
it's good that we have all these different types, different angles and different strategies, creatives, business-minded people, economists. We all need to work together to create something to get the hell out of this, because it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
Hey, and also some belief, guys.
Yeah, Coach.
I'm sorry. No. I think it's like I truly believe like what Tolkien is saying in the Lord of the Rings is if you create good will come. Just trust in that. The evil doesn't have the capability of really creating something new. That's up to us, the good guys. Evil just distorts and kind of bends and corrupts stuff, and it kind of assimilates and transforms it into maybe new versions of it. Like we're seeing the whole multiverse madness extravaganza that happened for the last 15 years. Let's multiverse this. But this is what they do, but they don't create original material. This is up to us. And so therefore, I will always trust in that the quality will always win.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't on the card, but let me cover super chats really quick, because then we're gonna talk about. I want to talk about Blizzard and BlizzCon real quick, just because I was a big fan of Blizzard. You guys already know that. And
everyone was.
Video.
This year is the first year that they're not gonna have BlizzCon physically, and I think it's a sign of what's happening, to the mainstream gaming industry right now. Let me see something. Future Boy for 2 says nude snatch equals good. Camel toe under bikini equals bad.
Yep.
Fair.
That's it. They're all about free the nipple and stuff like that. And then once you can, they say it's offensive. It's mental.
Jonathan Murphy for 2 says love Styler Blade disc version uncensored. I see a lot of smart people streaming on like YouTube, Kick, and Twitch, and they're purposefully streaming the uncensored version. I think that's really smart. People who are doing it. I know Cassie's doing it. Very smart. Keep doing that. It's not what they want. What the fuck you say this? Bobo Yogi, member for 1 month, says get a hold of Grums, have him go silent for a week, then get a hold of Tone Man and demand a 20K, call the cops first and record everything.
Jesus.
I was like, you got this do it. You got this shit all mapped out.
Isn't that entrapment?
Like you've been waiting your whole life for this. You got this shit mapped out, ready to go.
Yeah.
The first two parts of that plan are probably the most difficult. Hypno can get a contact of Grums, but having him go silent for a week, he's trailblazing on Twix or whatever the fuck they call that site now.
Are we really calling it Twix now? I see that a lot of places.
Ryan does. I do.
No.
Hell no. Hell to the no.
Ryan's really struggling to hold his racism in.
I want his white foot.
He's trying
seeping
so
out.
hard. I'm
coming out in
impressed.
sweat.
2 hours and 27 minutes. I mean, that's
He's
a
been
long
holding it
time
in
for
so
him.
long. He's sweating milk. Now.
Yes, man.
It's hard.
It's almost like
a lot of the new viewers, you guys don't realize like how difficult it is for Ryan to hold his racism in.
You
There's a
remember
reason
Big
why he's
Trouble
the
in Little
Klansman in the
China when he
intro.
kind
Like,
of
that's not a joke,
right?
Getting back to
That's
your
not a
saying
joke.
like BlizzCon, you were mentioning BlizzCon. Like it just kind of struck
let me
a
bring
chord
it
with me. It's
That's interesting. I didn't know about this.
Well, you saw like DC and I think Marvel didn't show up to San Diego Comic-Con last year. I think for sure DC. Did Marvel go?
Wasn't it,
I
like,
can't remember.
all the movie studios kind of didn't go to.
Yeah, they all kind of stepped up. So
Comic-Con.
like it was just a sign of things to come. And, and
I think
now
they
you're-
just can't handle the fact that if they did show up, they'd have to face the fact that half as many people are showing up to see them now than used to, and they don't want that, so they'd rather just not go. That's what I think.
The reason why I want to bring this up is because, there's a lot of people that have opinions on this and different reasons, right, as to why this might be happening and everything. But if you guys really pay attention and you notice, I mean, look what's happening with E3, right?
What
physical game conventions? Atreus, what happened?
What is happening? Like I was waiting for y'all to state what's happening. Y'all just said
look. In short, Blizzard is just thinking about doing physical BlizzCons anymore. They're trying to go more virtual because save some money.
Thinking they are not doing it. Basically, BlizzCon.
they're not doing it all.
So,
not even virtual.
One at a time. One at a time.
Let me explain. Let me explain in a non-autistic fashion. So, like, BlizzCon is a yearly event, right, for Blizzard. Well, now Activision Blizzard. That probably like 10 plus years ago was a big deal. I mean, you could not get a fucking ticket. It was difficult. The moment they launched them online, it was fucking impossible. I'm telling you. The amount of people that would go to BlizzCon is insane. That's where they would announce all their games, et cetera, et cetera. This is the first year that they're actually canceling it. They're not doing a physical BlizzCon. And we're talking about a company that's done one every year to the T, and it's been an event for people, and now they're not doing it. And the reason why it's huge is because, like Gooch said, it's a sign of the times, right? And that's why I wanted to bring up, look what's happening with E3, or what I should say, what happened with E3. Physical game conventions to announce video games is not really a thing, or at least that they're not trying to make that a thing anymore. You see a lot of companies pulling out, right? That's how E3 died in the first place. I think first Nintendo was the first one to say we're not doing it. We're not going to go to E3.
Sony.
And then Sony said we're not going to E3. And then did Microsoft cancel on E3 or did it die first? I forgot.
I thought they went to it, but then like the following year, because it was like they was the only company trying to hold on to it, right? And I think they tried to take advantage of that because they've been getting their ass whooped all and down the damn console war, and so they was like, oh, how about we hold on to this little relic of the past? But then they decided to do their own little show, which wound up being successful, and so E3 was just left behind.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, look what's happening at E3, BlizzCon. Jesus Christ. It just goes to show. Shut up. It just goes to show that mainstream gaming is definitely shifting. And the reason why they're not doing BlizzCon, I mean, listen, Mark Kern was a team lead at Blizzard. I would think he would know, right? Especially during its prime when the shows were massive. I'm talking, you don't understand, like, I don't know. Are you familiar with BlizzCon, Atreus?
I remember when Cataclysm came out.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, so like the shows were fucking nuts, like massive, right? So he said even back then during its prime, it wasn't making money. Like they would lose money on BlizzCon, but they would do it because it's important to get the fans hyped up. And they always had something ready to showcase. But I think a lot of people are saying that they just flat out have nothing. Like Activision Blizzard has nothing to show at BlizzCon. It's not worth it for them. Even if they did have something to show, I think that, like Will said, they would get like half the people. People have completely walked away from more so Activision than Blizzard, but I mean they pretty much time together now. People are just fed up with a lot of the shit that they're doing. And you see it in the World of Warcraft numbers. You see all like it's nowhere near what if you're going to BlizzCon, you're going for Blizzard more so games than Activision. So if a lot of people are walking away from Blizzard games, who are you really making the show for? And then you got nothing to show. Why is that?
I think, and y'all are more than welcome to agree with me. I'm just going off a gut feeling here. I don't have no facts to back this up. I think people would find an excuse to go because I think people are starting to feel how everything's going digital. You know what I'm saying? The last few things that we have to hold on to are, like Comic-Con, the Game Awards, things like that. You start realizing all of these conventions are going away. You might hang on to the last one. You know what I'm saying? I know you were saying that maybe only half of the people would show up. Like hell, I would if it was within my reach, I would go just for the fuck of it. So I mean,
I think there's a transition there, Atreus. I think it's that the cons have become, because the Comic Cons and like even the BlizzCon, like they were hot for a period of time, but now it's like people have shifted towards the Eastern content. So now they're all going for the manga, for the anime. They're all doing the cosplay. It's not even a Comic-Con or a BlizzCon anymore. Because like no one cares about that. You're not getting the hype that the other content's getting. Like you could go to a Comic-Con, the artist alley's in the back corner. Everything's changing at a very, very rapid pace. It's here today, gone tomorrow. Like I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but like I just think everything's transitioning to a different genre altogether.
I mean, cons used to be about the fans, and now they're about advertising. And then they were about advertising, and now they're
Burning
dead.
Man, Coachella, Love Parade. They hijack all these beautiful cultural events, and then they turn them into commercial events.
Yeah. And eventually, cons then there was a backlash to having booth babes and things like that, with the rise of woke and all that crap. But the cons are just bloated. And there's also a chance that you're gonna run into people who just fucking hate you for your politics. I don't know. There's just no interest. Everyone's divided. I mean, everyone's divided. So why would anyone want to go and be in a room with hundreds of thousands of other people just to be advertised at and argue?
I'll be honest with you. Those conventions are carried by the cosplayers.
Yeah,
that's really in my opinion. They're definitely carried by the cosplayers. And BlizzCon is no different. They used to have a whole section of their show dedicated to who had the best cosplay. I'm sure they would do the same thing again.
They're all front and center. They're now they're bringing in you've seen it, the Gina Carano's. You're bringing all these celebrities in to draw a crowd, and it's totally shifted from the actual event itself. And I don't know how you can. The smaller ones are great, but BlizzCon and San Diego Comic-Con, all these big, huge events are dead. You're seeing a lot of dying genres right now. So
yeah,
Well, that's why I
it's a
say if you
beautiful
go to
show we're running
BlizzCon, you're
here
gonna
on this,
go. You're gonna go for Blizzard games, and I just don't feel like Blizzard games have that big like. Okay, let me preface. They have a big fan base. All right, that's obvious. But
yeah,
compared to Blizzard Prime, not even just a few years ago, it's nowhere near
The word
the
you're looking
same.
for, Hypnotic, is enthusiasm. That's it's just
Yeah.
not
There it
there
is.
at all. I've talked about this extensively with various companies. Like, so yeah, the fan base is there, but someone going to place or buying a ticket and then arriving at a place, flying in from out of town, that takes enthusiasm. So they have to be actually stoked, and that's what a lot of the Western companies are, where they're lacking right now, and why they can't seem to like it doesn't feel like they have a big draw anymore. Though you do understand that they have general supporters. It's the enthusiasm, man. It's just gone away.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
To
That's why
convince
you
someone
saw
to do that kind of trip. I mean, a lot of people who went to BlizzCon usually are not in the area of which BlizzCon is held. We know that. So, Will, what are you gonna say?
Just as a comparison, not that I want to linger on it for too long. If you look at like wrestling audiences, they were falling off a cliff a few years ago. No one was interested. The product sucked, and mostly I'm talking about WWE. But then, of course, you know, we've had the revolution that's been going on and the removal of McMahon. Product gets better. Now they're booking bigger numbers. They're drawing bigger crowds to live events than they ever have before. So yeah, if you have something good, the enthusiasm is there, and people will go any distance, and they'll spend their money, and they'll go through whatever they have to be there to see it. If you do pushing shit, then no one's gonna take the time to do anything. They can't be bothered. Why would they? It's like the movies as well.
That's like that was just like what he was saying in terms of enthusiasm. You can have a fan base, but do you have an enthusiastic fan base? It's a big difference, because Blizzard had an enthusiastic fan base, the likes of which that was really hard for people to replicate, and they tried to. You had a lot of different companies trying to make the next WoW killer. You know, that was like a thing back then. Every fucking MMO that came out was the WoW killer. And it never happened because the fan base was so enthusiastic for Blizzard products. It was just impossible. And now I think they have a complacent fan base. I think they have people who are sticking around because they probably played Blizzard games for a long time and they don't necessarily want to stop. Maybe they're invested in WoW, whatever the case may be, but they're not exactly enthusiastic, right? They're the kind of people they'll buy a new expansion when it comes out. They'll level quickly to max level, gear up, and then not play for like 3 months to the next patch or whatever the case may be. And I highly doubt they're going to want to travel across states to go to BlizzCon. Some of them might, but most of them probably won't. Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Not even half. I would say not even half of people. I mean, look at the player base on WoW at the moment. It's like 7 million or something. It was 15 million a few years ago. So that's indicative of just how many people.
Is it that high?
At the moment, apparently, last month I was just looking it up. It says WoW has over 7 million active players, but then that is on Reddit, so it could be bullshit. Apparently, it rose again because there is a new expansion coming out. So
right.
7 million. 7 million.
Well, that's what always happens. Like I said, you'll have people come in, new expansion, they'll play max level, gear up, leave, like straight up.
And actually, before the expansion was getting closer, it got as low as 1.5 million.
That's
once the acquisition is done and dusted with Xbox in regards to Activision Blizzard, they'll probably put WoW on a Game Pass and get a whole influx of players from that ecosystem.
They would have to make the game playable for consoles, though, which that's quite the endeavor, and I highly doubted they'll get it done in a few years. Didn't
we talk to Grums about that a few weeks ago? And he was saying how hard it was to like map it for a.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago, and
was that on a different stream?
Have gotten worse in 20 years.
It was on a different stream, but yeah.
No, it was a different stream. I can never remember because I've seen him on so many streams.
No, yeah.
I mean, look, someone else.
But by the way, I had to like walk away for a few minutes. So like, if somebody says something similar, just let me know. But as for this whole situation with Blizzard, for me, as someone that has been playing their games for over a decade until I stopped playing them all almost completely, by the Shadowlands WoW expansion. I can say that this was a long time coming. Okay, I've been playing since Wrath of the Lich King all the way to Shadowlands to give you some timeline. Yes, I know I didn't earn that neckbeard status. I know. I'm fucking sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't born like 10 years prior. God damn it.
Hey, Eric, did you ever play World of Warcraft?
Yeah, I played WoW and more or less in college.
What class? What class? Come on.
Look, I'm not outing myself as gay.
Oh shit!
Not judging. Because guess who you would never guess who my favorite Pokemon is.
Whoa, what is it?
Sylveon.
Oh, you gay, bro?
Come on,
I would. Gay. Yeah.
You call yourself out there.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Nah. But no, in college, man, that was the shit, man. When I was in that was like early. That was like going into the early 2010s, man.
So it's like Cataclysm time.
Yeah, that man.
I didn't think there were any black people exist that played WoW.
Oh, dude,
there are a lot. There are a lot actually.
Yeah,
just don't admit it.
My best friend in high school played WoW. He was Haitian. Played it broke.
Yeah. Let me just put it this way: a lot of black people did play WoW. It's just they didn't fucking mention it in public because that would mean
absolutely.
You're right.
That's why, Atreus. But yeah, that's why. No, but yeah, this was a long time coming for Blizzard. Okay, this is like the buildup of multiple mistakes that could have been fixed by them, but instead they let their greed take over. They obsessed too much on expansion over quality. Yes, Activision Blizzard.
I still remember when Activision and Blizzard actually merged. I remember telling my friends at the time, I'm like, this is gonna fuck Blizzard. Like this is going to ruin Blizzard completely. And they were like, no, they were like, no, bro, that's not true, man. It's gonna help them with funding. They're gonna have money for bigger projects. I'm like, okay,
that's super naive.
Think about that for a second. And
it's like saying it was a good thing when EA got BioWare. That's a great thing. Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Don't remind me of that. Will. Come on.
I actually didn't think too much about the EA BioWare thing. I don't know why. Yeah. I didn't think too much about that. But for some reason, Activision taking Blizzard, that was like a death sentence. Yeah. I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But Activision was like one of the first shitty companies. EA didn't become shitty until when? Like maybe the mid 2010s.
EA was voted worst company for like 3 years in a row.
You say what? That was
EA was America's worst company in America. Yeah. Was voted worst company in America 3 years in a row, above every other company, not just gaming.
But not before Activision, though, right? Am I?
No, before. It's around the same time, but EA got that infamy earlier than everyone else because, like, I think it was when their new CEO or one of their now current day top dogs. They just noticed that the whole microtransaction model for like cards in FIFA and Madden was making them a lot of money, and then they were like, hey, why don't we try to do that with other games and see where that takes us? And they started making bank. And when that happened, they thought, man, we'll do it for everything. And then, combined
it was around 2005, 6, I think, was when EA started having like a really negative opinion. And by 2012, they were being voted the worst company in America.
Yes, that's when the whole microtransaction got really bad.
It was 2012 and 2013. I don't know what happened after that.
But they were one of the first companies to start that microtransaction nonsense.
Yeah, they brought in loot boxes as well. All of that shit.
Fucking Activision Blizzard.
Season passes.
Was it EA that called them surprise mechanics? Who called?
Yes. Oh my god!
Yes.
Hey, Young Yell made a killing off that fucking term, bro. That motherfucker was saying surprise mechanics.
Bro, the audacity! That white lady, it was like, what was she, a lawyer or something in the courtroom saying that shit? They were like, no, this is not gambling. This is surprise mechanics. I was like, bitch, really?
Yeah, that's
they were skirting those lines so thin.
That was like 2017 or something when that, I think.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as masterful finessing, and EA, man, goddamn, that shit was masterful. I don't know how they're able to avoid the U.S. courts and all the worldwide courts. Like they're avoiding them by a finger at this point.
Well, because we're lazy, we're lazy, and we don't. we get discouraged by the single thing. Like if we don't think we're winning that lawsuit, then we're not fucking going after them. So
it was in the UK, wasn't it? They were trying to defend the loot boxes. They said it was surprise mechanics and tried to compare them to Kinder eggs.
Boy, that was.
I mean, the thing is, a Kinder egg doesn't cost $20. Yeah.
Or
So-
7.
I wish I would have had a channel back then. Boy, I would have made it.
The
Yeah.
mobile gaming market, man, it ruined AAA because these CEOs, these fucking executives,
easy money.
They
man.
saw how much money. Yeah, they saw how much money that these mobile companies were making, and they were like, "Yeah, we need to get on that." They're blowing us out the water. Like it's not even close.
And the bad part about it is that we don't understand it. Because when I play a mobile game, the minute I see a microtransaction, I'm like, nah, bro. You want me to pay for extra lives? Blast out?
It's because you're an actual gamer.
We talk about Activision Blizzard, but we don't mention the other company, King. Candy Crush, one of the most historically popular mobile games, which was the driving force of Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, but I don't want to blame them for doing what. I mean, it was obviously people like the game and they made a lot of money. I don't want to put nothing negative on them for that. It's the trend chasing in the industry that got the rest of the industry fucked up. I'm not going to blame King for coming up with a genius idea, low investment, and maximum profit. Like that's nobody else. It's not their fault.
Literally.
Well, I always found it strange. Why don't we call it Activision Blizzard King? Is it too many hyphens or something? Because
they call themselves Activision Blizzard. Like
they chose their name.
Kind of question is that?
Yeah, that's
King recognition. They were the kings of that company with that game, man, making money hand over fist. So no wonder everyone else copied the format.
Yeah, but it ends up with things like 6-year-old kids spending $16,000 on microtransactions.
Well, don't give them online banking then. Don't give children fucking access to the internet with a financial element.
Well, what
sure.
Now
you're going
parenting.
But there really should be like some kind of limiter of what you can spend.
There is. Parents are just fucking lazy.
That's true. I guess the parents do deserve it as well. I suppose
it's a twofold thing, man. It's the parents and also
we're naturally lazy, bro. Like it's people that literally give their kids iPads and as long as they shut the fuck up for the rest of the day, they're straight with it. Their children are being raised by fucking iPads, bro.
Shout out to King. Give me a sponsorship.
Yeah, good luck with that. Let me catch up on super chats really quick. Where am I at? We got Binoc for 9 for 10 says game companies need to listen to their real fans and not listen to weirdos who aren't gamers. ESG and DEI doesn't put food on the table nor pay bills. Devs need to think for themselves. No, I agree with that.
Speaking of that, I like the point that Cassie made about Cabrutus making a website called DEI Detected. I don't think optically speaking that was a good idea.
Yeah, it was.
Like I know he's not racist, but optically speaking, I didn't think that was.
Zao is a shitty game. If that's,
I think you should have kept it at Sweet Baby Inc. Detected.
Oh no, I don't know. I like.
I think he was
Detected.
going for the general idea, and then didn't realize like. Have you ever spoken to Brutus? That man's innocent as fuck, bro. Like
that's what I just said. I don't believe he's racist at all. But I think DEI detected because you're making it appear like any diversity whatsoever we don't like when we know that's not. Well, we know that's not the case, but they're using it as like they don't want any black people or any women.
No,
I can't wait for this. Go on.
That's why it's up to us to make it. To continue to make noise and signal boost the fact that diversity, organic, natural diversity that happens automatically is fine. DEI is forced. It's an organized campaign against natural diversity. So we need to just make it clear that that's what it is. And I think DEI Detected can actually help that depending on how it serves its audience.
Yeah.
I can see how it optically right now might look bad, but yeah.
I got a $10 super chat over on Cash App. Says no one chess piece is an army. Okay. That's fair.
Okay, yeah. Strategically speaking,
so no one person is an army, basically.
So who's the queen?
Yeah.
That would be you. Stephen Davis says woke is Marxism. I agree.
Yes, it is.
Hayden75 with the 10 banger says, hopefully Fan Expo Dallas is still worth it. I just spent a chunk to go in June, but that's got the addition of going to meet up with people in our corner of the internet.
Yeah, man. Fan Expo is still big. Fan Expo is big. You're gonna be fine there. MegaCon, any of those events are gonna be like massive. Usually, everything Fan Expo does is pretty. Those are doing fine. So yeah, Fan Expo Dallas is always fun.
Yeah, the one in Toronto, they have like the last one I went to had over 1 million people for that Saturday. It was massive, but it's not a comic expo anymore. It's more.
Well, it's like all inclusive now. Like it's like they're mixing everything. I mean, to be fair, it's akin to what happened to the comic book industry as far as the retailers. Retailers cannot exist just as comic retailers anymore. They have to sell games, right? They have to sell the
Funko
RPGs,
dolls,
tabletops. They used to do the Funkos. So that's kind of more or less what's happening, is that everything's getting merged, right? And it's working. That's pretty much the only way that they can stand.
Fair enough. Last but not least, we got Taker610 for 5. It says, if E3 was someone drowning in a lake, Nintendo would be a person who paddles by and says, even though I won't be saving you, I still support you. Bye.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Nintendo's hardcore, man.
Nintendo, yeah, I'm worried about what's going to happen to Nintendo now that we've seen them not advertising for DEI positions and stuff. Like, Nintendo was kind of like one of the last bastions of
they're survivors. They do what they can to survive. That's why they went from being a card company to aiding Imperial Japan to then becoming a games company to where it is today. So yeah, they've been around, man.
Yeah, they have.
Well, I will say this about Nintendo and their DEI nonsense. So like I'll put it to you like this: them hiring for DEI shit. I gotta feel in my heart that if Nintendo got woke, right? Let's say they did. Even in this, look at what's happening with Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go woke up a lot of people who were not paying attention to this stuff, right? If Pokemon mainstream or if Nintendo mainstream gets woke in whatever way, like it could be small, it could be not small. Let's say they make fucking Link LGBTQ for all I know. Like I'm just saying, if Nintendo gets woke, I think that while it will be terrible, I think that will be a big wake up call for a lot of people. I think a lot of people who are casual, who are out of the loop, maybe they don't actually, know about this stuff. Because I think that would wake up a lot of unsuspecting people.
Yeah, I actually agree. Yeah. I think when unfortunately big players fall, it snaps loads of people out. Star Wars did it, Doctor Who's done it to some extent, although that's very divided still. In gaming, if Nintendo was to suddenly start putting out Princess Peach, being better than Mario, people would start noticing shit very quickly. And I think it would. I don't like to say red pill because it's got so many negative connotations now, but it would red pill the fuck out of millions more people.
Say wake up. That's basically it.
Wake up,
wake up for the whole situation.
I prefer that
because Nintendo's got a lot of normies, dude. A lot of casual gamers like that. The people that are not involved in this shit, even people who are not even involved in the console wars, right? Like you always got Microsoft and Sony fighting it, right? Nintendo players are just off in the corner playing the same shit they've been playing for decades, right?
Yeah,
just with better graphics. But it would. I'm telling you, it would get them involved and wake them up to some of the shit going on. I think that more that than anything else, more that than fucking PlayStation getting woke, Microsoft getting woke. I think Nintendo getting woke would wake up people a lot.
Yeah, might even wake Brie Larson up because she likes Nintendo. Apparently,
no.
That's the fucking name that I never wanted to hear.
I was memeing because of her shitty channel when she said I like Nintendo.
I still can't believe they pushed her channel.
Why are you bringing her up?
Anyway, I don't even care. All right, boys. Listen, we're basically wrapping up here at this point. Shout out to everybody hanging out with us in the chat, man. Absolutely insane stream. I appreciate everybody coming in here, man. We hit almost 700 concurrent on YouTube, not including the 300 over on Twitter, Rumble, Twitch, Kick. Everybody, man. Thank you guys so much for your support. It's been wild. Let's do our outros. We're going to start with Will of the Fans. Take it away.
Yeah, it's been a great stream. It's been really nice to talk about a lot of these topics. It's been really great to see Eric July on here. I've been a fan for many years, so nice to meet you, sir. I'm sick as a dog. I'm going back to bed, and then later on, when I'm a bit more alive, we will be having our Doctor Who weekly stream later on the channel, Who TF Live. We'll be talking about all the garbage that's been coming out of the mouths of everyone associated with that. Then for the rest of the week, it'll be back to covering all of this shit show with constant videos. So look forward to that. Stop by and subscribe if you like articulate outrage. Thank you very much.
There you go. Coach, take it away.
It's been a fantastic stream. Thank you so much, Eric, for stopping by. Thank you so much, Hypnotic, for giving us this opportunity. Now it's the 88th time that we've met up on Saturday to kind of, get stronger all together to support our causes and to have also fun. I feel like this is always a fun and creative and interesting conversation that we have. We don't agree all the time. We don't always are on the same side with everything, but that's the great thing about real creative people. There needs to be differences. There needs to be shades and nuances. There needs to be opposition. Otherwise, there won't be any friction, anything positive and creative coming out of that. This is what the masses sometimes don't want to understand. There is no shortcut to self-development, to success, to having, these great recognitions. If you want to be acknowledged by an industry and you want to dominate an industry, you have to practice every day like you want to dominate that industry and not just wish for something to happen or play the victim card or just, jump on some agency bandwagon. Over here, we're the real deal. We are the other 8, and now it's closing a cycle. And if you want to close your cycle and maybe open up a complete new chapter in the book of success, come over to the Coach MC studio. Whether you're creative, a communicator, an actor, and performer, we got all the tools you need. We got the mindset tips, acting strategy tips. Jump to my website, readytoperform.com. Catch me next Tuesday with Ryan Roger Athay and the other crazy Latino guy when we shed a light into the mystery of the past, where we look at all these beautiful details from history. We are at our 4th episode now altogether. I'm really proud of that. Open Class Doodle, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Open Class Doodles next Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and as usual over here on Saturday for the 89th round of our Infinity Battle. Thank you so much.
Oh, I feel bad for Ryan. Ryan, take it.
Well, folks, thanks for watching this 88th episode of Saturday Night Hypnosis. Thank you to the host, founder, and owner of the Riververse, Eric. I think it's Dwayne July.
Yeah,
I always
it.
like middle
That's
names because I have one. For being on
he has
the
files on all
show.
of us.
No, don't tell him that.
But you have shades on.
But in regards to what I'll be doing tomorrow, yes, I will be on Who of the Fans, or as I like to call it, Will of the Whovians, hosted by this great guy tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time. And then, of course, reality-based music will be live at 9 p.m. UK time tomorrow. In regards to videos, I'll make plenty of videos as we end this awesome April. Of course, this Tuesday, I will be on Coach's Show, Open Class Doodles with Dragon Slayer. I'll also be on Will of the Fans' show on Tuesday and on Thursday as well, assuming his signal holds up. I'm being invited to all these great shows. It just goes to show it's not what you know, it's who you know. And thank you all very much for watching. You know where to find me. It's this name or this name, one of those. So keep on going, keep on growing, and you'll go far as a rising star. Now on to this great guy.
Well, really quick, hold on, chat. So
weird,
I see you
bro.
guys. I see you guys asking for. I see you guys asking for Queen Ryan emojis. I'm gonna work on it. Don't worry. I'm gonna bring it.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna bring it to the
Stop
channel.
turning me into a fucking meme. First of all, it was
we're gonna do it. Don't worry about
now
it.
you want to make me female. Leon is the tranny demon, not me.
Oh, they're
the chat requested, and that's it. The fans get what they want.
At least give
Speaking
them
of giving the fans what they want, Eric July, take it
Yo,
away. Man.
yo. By the way, appreciate y'all having me, man. This has been a blast. I love being able to do these, man. So it's been an honor to chat with you guys. And again, big shout out to everybody, and the channel's growing. Love to see it. Me, we're doing everything at riververse.com. We got some cool little announcements that we'll be having these next couple of weeks as well. Yara campaign is we have about a month left in it. So it's going to be very, very exciting to start fulfillment for that. But also, again, we got a couple of things up our sleeve. So I'm really, really excited, and appreciate all the viewers as well, man. Shout out to y'all.
Absolutely, man. It was a pleasure having you.
man.
It was awesome to finally get you on the stream, man. It was awesome. Atreus, take it away.
Yo, what up? What up? What up? So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Atreus. I'm a, commentator. I cover the news, but a lot of people cover the news. I be roasting the news. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what I do. I talk
Same.
shit. I'm a professional shit talker. But I'm also a writer. Guys, after the show, 11:30, we in the Discord streaming the final episode of Shogun. It's bittersweet. If you seen my reaction to that last episode, boy, I'm hurt. I'm hurt, man. So yeah. So if you haven't joined the Discord, go ahead and do that already. And then outside of that, I'm ready to go.
Beautiful. Really quick, I'm gonna call out these two. They came in late. We got how the fuck you say this? Pyra Draconum for 5 says Lance McDonald on Twitter tweet that he contact his dad and Sony to censor Stellar Blade Hard R shop and also start big censorship. That's the guy who tried to pretend like he was being nice to Grums.
Yeah.
And then that's that guy, right?
Isn't he the guy who discovered the hard R thing?
Yeah,
supposedly?
he's the one that tried to say, "Oh, I didn't send it to journalists," even though they all dropped at the same time once the embargo lifted.
Wasn't it something like there was only 25 minutes before Sony got involved or something?
No, so really fast, just two seconds. No, literally, Lance posts that picture of the hard R. He claims it's racism. Within 25 minutes of that post on Twitter, every single journalist, almost anyway, puts up an article about that hard R racism and already had a comment from Sony ready to go somehow in 25 minutes. So they wrote the article, got it through checks and balances, got a comment from Sony and everything in 25 minutes after discovering the hard R from Lance.
They're like,
that's what they said. They said they discovered it from Lance. They even quoted him.
That's
in his
impossible.
tweet and everything. It's impossible. They had it already.
That's premeditated as fuck.
It's all premeditated. Taker 610 for 2 says Hiroshi Yamauchi ran Nintendo from 1949 to 2002.
He sure did.
Sounds like a boss. All right, Gooch.
Yo, what's up? That's Gooch from Diabolical Souls Presents. I just want to say a huge thank you. Huh? I know you were. That's why I jumped in real quick. I want to thank Eric for coming on tonight. It was a blast getting to talk to you and getting just to hear your thoughts and everything. Everyone in the chat, you guys rock it every freaking Saturday night. You guys rock. Yeah. The panel is fantastic. These guys, go check them out, please. As for me, I will be doing Scavenger's Reign episode 8 on Tuesday. Wednesday, I have Von Coleman. We're going to be promoting his book and talking about his news campaign. And then Wednesday, we'll be doing episode 6 of Cyberpunk Edge Runners. So come join us. And then I'll be back here next Saturday. So my channel's growing. I'm just under 7,000 now. So it's climbing, it's growing. The views are up. I had a blast on Wednesday night with the crew doing the Rebel Moon Part 2 review, and it's been a lot of fun. So thank you to everyone. I greatly appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Dude, I got
Dragon. I know there's a lot of people that's going to be disappointed. I had 1,000 questions for Eric, but this is not the place to do it. So, for those of you who were wondering that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a thing.
No, I was going to tell you about it, but like it's really not the place to do it.
Yeah.
How personal are we talking? Holy shit.
Well, no, it's not like personal, but it's like stuff that has to do. Like one of the questions I was going to ask is about I would say is a lack of support from the broader Black community of his brand. This is not the place to get into that. Because obviously, as a lot of
now you're coming with the good questions after 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, you could have told me. You could have told me about it.
I want to talk about this.
Goodbye. I just want to leave you with this thought, but goodbye.
Yeah, Atreus is basically saying that, hey guys,
he's just gonna drop this can of worms here.
He's gonna message Eric, try to get him on a personal show. Fuck this show. Go speak.
I owe you that after what you did with Gothic, you son of a bitch.
Well, Gothic is gonna be coming on the show. Don't worry. Relax.
What happened?
It was a move. That was a move. Yeah, let's talk about this in private on my channel.
Gooch, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What I was gonna say is, Gooch, man, I fucking remember not even a couple months ago you were bitching about wanting to get past 500 subs, man. And it's fucking awesome to see you.
I'm surfing that wave, man. I'm surfing that wave. YouTube did send me an email saying, "Yo, you got to settle down." Yeah, and I was just like, all right, okay. I've been a little, no, it's been a lot of fun. I've had a blast. So, and also I do interviews as well. So, hint.
Yeah, it's been good seeing you grow, man. I'm happy for you. I'm excited. I always get happy when all you guys fucking.
I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you popping in, saying hello and all that, and so
it's
I really appreciate that.
No worries, man. Last but not least, Dragon Slayer commentaries. Take it away.
Yeah, man. No, I was going to say it's been quite an awesome stream as always. Glad to have a talk with you, Mr. Eric. And as for my content, well, there is actually a video I'm currently working on. I finally got time to work on it this week.
It'll be out next year, guys.
Yeah, next year. I was just about to say
you know what, motherfucker's fine. It'll be out in 25 years. I give it at the least a 2-year timeline. Maybe that'll be with express pay, okay, and delivery. And then I'll work on another project that'll take 200 years. Okay, I'm going this by dragon years because
I'll live. Dragons live a long time. Yeah.
He's not even kidding, by the way.
See, don't worry. I'll get 100 videos out before Joe Biden, kicks the bucket. Don't worry. That's my goal. That's my bucket list goal. Either way,
bro. They between Dragon Slayer's last video and Dragon Slayer's current video he's working on, they freed Harvey Weinstein and OJ died. That's how much shit happened, bro. We're talking crazy historical moments in between videos.
I know.
Fucking wild.
I know, it's crazy. But no, yeah, I do got a project in the works, and after that, it'll be Revel Moon, and then I'm gonna tackle that fucking monster of Velma HBO show. They released all 10 episodes of the second season in one fucking go. I already covered the first season, so I will go straight after.
Reagan, I'll talk to you about that in the back after.
Which I'm disappointed that he didn't bring that up as a topic. That is the show.
Oh, it's fine.
Channel Hypno. I don't know how
Velma?
you bring that up.
No, his was Rings of Power. Velma was the Griffin channel.
I hated the first season, and I just don't care. I'm so.
It's okay. I already get a bunch of people in the fucking chat going like, "Oh, please pray for his fucking soul," and I'm like, "Motherfuckers, I already watched like Rings of Power, the Velma show."
I heard some of the spoilers, and that shit sounds retarded.
It's fine. I already cover. I'm already covering a retarded.
He's enjoying it silently.
To the point.
He likes to swim in the sewage. I don't know.
Hey, I already call it the dumpster dive. Okay, it's okay. I already call
you have fun with that, man. I'm not going to be joining you on that one. All right, boys. Well, listen, episode 88 was wild, man. Thank you, everybody who came in again to hang out tonight. Thank you to everybody who took the extra step to super chat and like the stream, share the stream, everything, man. Thank you to the Hypno Mods for doing what you guys do every single night and handling all the amazing trolls we got tonight as expected. We were ready for them and we had a great time trolling them back. It was fun. And again, man, just please go check out Eric July, obviously, with his Yara campaign. Mods, if you could drop the link to his website, that would be fantastic. And that's basically all. That's all I got. Don't forget tomorrow Hypnocast 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as every single day, as always. And next Saturday we will be having a former recent employee of Epic Games that's going to have an interesting discussion over what's been happening in the mainstream gaming industry. So shit is getting real. It is absolutely hyping up, and it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So make sure you guys check out every Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday Night Hypnosis. And that's it. With that being said, man, go have a great night. Go be bigots. You already know how it goes. What are you showing? Oh, nice comment. Nice. And we'll see you in the next one.
Hell yeah.
Peace out, everybody. Good night.
Goodbye.
Gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men. And I got news for you. That means you get. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Her dog. Or her cat was named Vagina. Vagina. black man. I bring light. I bring light. I bring light. I bring light. I bring light.